The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink!
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this off-season football Tuesday, June 10th, 2025. This program begins now. Sports are fantastic, and there's a lot of them happening in real time. Last night, the NHL continued the way the NHL has gone the last 2 years. The Florida Panthers put an ass beating on the Edmonton Oilers to go up 2-1 in the Stanley Cup Finals. We will talk about that today with Moose Mark Messier joining us in about 30 minutes or so. Obviously, he's an NHL legend. He was teammates with Wayne Gretzky way back in the day, became the captain of the New York Rangers, and a man who played, I think, 55 years in the NHL and won 100 Stanley Cups. Can't wait to get his thoughts on this Florida Panther team, how they play, why they play, and if this Oilers team is going to be able to answer. And is there a tell on Stu Skin, the goalie of the Edmonton? Feels like 5 out of 6 of those goals, one sticks right here, right here, right here. That's what we see in the playoffs of hockey. They get a scouting report, the book on the goalies. I'm not saying they don't have it all season, but in the playoffs, best of 7 series, they are doing a lot of research on where this goalie sucks and where this goalie is great at. If you look at most of these goals, except for whenever Stuart Skinner was out of the net, that thing was going high. He was out of net there. That doesn't count. Go to the second goal, please. Please go to the second goal. Thank you.
Swaggy.
Boom. Bang. Bardowski, actually, off the top. Third goal, boom, high right on the goal. Stu Skin, boom, high right. Stu Skin, stick side, high side. How you doing? Keep it moving. I think he's in trouble. I think the Florida Panthers have figured it out. Last night, 6-1 win in dominating fashion. We'll talk to Mark Messier. We'll also have Charania joining. Every goal basically going to the same exact spot.
Yep.
Now, granted, they're sniping.
Oh, yeah, big time.
I mean, those potentially going in on a goalie that is very good on stick side, but it feels like they were aiming one particular direction and putting it in. This Florida Panthers team looking to go back-to-back for the 8th time in the history of the NHL. A dynasty in South Florida is certainly a conversation piece. Now, let's talk a little bit about the NBA, because we know tomorrow night here in Indianapolis, Indiana, Game 3 of the NBA Finals will be taking place. We will be live from outside of Gainbridge Fieldhouse at noon tomorrow. Come hang out with us. Great backdrop over there.
Nice weather tomorrow.
Bicentennial Plaza is what it's called. It's right outside of Gainbridge. This is a covered area, so it should have some shade in there on the beautiful weather. The backdrop is beautiful.
Yes.
Most shots of Indianapolis don't have this particular backdrop, so whenever we are offered up the opportunity to go down there again, we are incredibly pumped and thankful for it. We'll be there tomorrow. Come hang out with us. Even if you're in town from the Oklahoma City fan base, you guys have done a great job with your arena. Coach Carlisle of the Indiana Pacers actually said, these fans here really, they're loud. He said that was a big deal for this game whenever we lost Game 2. He said, we hope our fans understand the mission, understand the task. I hope so too. We'll be in there tomorrow night. So hopefully we'll set the table tomorrow. A lot of people traveling into town. A lot of people are going to be on the show tomorrow. I hope you will come join us. But Charania will join us in about 10 minutes or so. What should we be thinking about as we look ahead to this Game 3? What should we be thinking about as we look ahead to the show tomorrow? Shams join us live in person. Ooh. We assume he'll be boots on the ground out here. This dude's unbelievable. Tyrese Halliburton was seen limping out of his press conference.
Didn't look good.
Just looked like he was a little bit sore. That doesn't look like anything problematic to me, because if it was, I don't think the Pacers people would have allowed him just to walk. There would have been at least an arm, maybe a crutch. We're in the middle of the NBA Finals. But we'll ask Shams what he knows about this and any other storylines brewing ahead of this NBA Finals Game 3 tomorrow here in Indianapolis, Indiana. And then football is happening all around us. Mandatory minicamps are happening all around the league. There's some people not showing up.
Uh-oh.
That's right.
There's some people not happy about their contracts. There's some veterans that have proven themselves in this league that say, hey, excuse me, we were supposed to get a deal done. You have not gotten a deal done. I don't care if it's mandatory. You know what's mandatory? You paying me. That's what's mandatory. I'll take the $17,000 fine. I'll take the $30,000 fine for missing these mandatory minicamps because what you owe me is a lot more. So this is becoming a statement for some of these players. Or if you're the 17th overall pick in the draft, where it's pretty slotted.
Cut and dry.
On what you're going to get. I mean, that is kind of a part of the CBA. It's like, here's the amount of money that the number 1 overall pick will get. Now, there are some conversations about the guarantees, when the money comes, when it will be deferred to, all those things. There are some negotiations. But at 17th overall, they kind of got it. They kind of got it pretty much figured out. He has an agent out of LAA, young lad. He might be some sort of super genius that is working the system in the CBA differently than everybody else. Ooh. But this dude missing all of this, and this dude saying, like, numbers weren't where I wanted them to be, instead of, like, what I was told they should be, has made himself a bad guy in a city that he was going to be, you know, I mean, in Cincinnati, that's a place that they will hold you, they will judge you, like, this is just overall bad. In my eyes, this is not great for Shamar Stewart. But as soon as the deal gets done, he'll get on the field. He'll be a beast. That's what Shamar Stewart is. We understand he'll be great. But the Cincinnati Bengals draft him 17th to replace Trey Hendrickson potentially because they can't get Trey Hendrickson to show up to anything. Now their 17th overall pick isn't showing up to anything. They got problems on that D-line over there. And the only way it's going to get settled is money, I guess, and negotiations. And maybe because they get rid of Pratt yesterday, they open up some money to sign Trey Hendrickson. And maybe the super agent that Shamar Stewart has, he's able to snoop his way around the CBA to get more money than anybody else in the history of that particular pick was supposed to get with the rules and regulations that have been implied in collectively bargained agreement for the NFL. So there's a lot of problems around the NFL. We'll certainly talk about that with Schrager in the next hour. He got his mind blown by O's.
Yeah, he did.
O's been doing a lot. O's has a book. 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler joining us.
Yes, sir.
O's has blown our minds.
Yes.
O's walked up to you, told you to bring your phone out.
Mm-hmm.
Scroll through your phone book, contacts, stop.
Yeah.
Look at a name in your contacts. Mm-hmm. And then he wrote down on a dry erase board the exact name that you were looking at in your phone. But not just the name.
Yeah.
You said the name, I believe, was...
Boogie. It wasn't even a real name. It was my daughter's nickname.
Boogie was on his phone. He says Boogie. He writes that. He already had Boogie wrote down. And then he had something else. He said, and. And then you said... black heart emoji. And he turns it around. He goes, exactly, Boogie. And it was just like, wait a minute. Then he looked at me, 1 to 100, think of a number. And I go, I think of a number, 77. And I go, whoa, too easy of a number. 77, that's easy. That's got to be the easiest one. 2 sevens. 7 is a lot of people lucky number. That seems like an easy one. I went to like 54 or something. I'm like, what a shitty number. Give me. I'm going to a shitty number. He says to me, bang, you thought of 77, then you moved to a lower number, right? Lower number? Yeah, 54. And then he walks away. I'm like, only I know if that was right or not. And it was fucking right.
Wow.
Then he came on game day, this guy. And he told me to think of a card. So I thought of one card, and then I switched it last second. I'm like, not going to let him do it. He called my ass out. Mm-hmm. He's like, you were thinking of this, then you went to this. And I'm like, what's this? He's a demon. Mm-hmm. And more people need to understand he's a demon. He tried to do a trick at Big Night Out. That would have required 12,000 drunk people to follow along with their calculator.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big swing. That was a big swing by O's. But every time I've seen this dude operate, it is mind-blowing, mind-boggling, and you think to yourself, this thing isn't real. And there's more and more people getting a taste of it.
Yeah.
And what he did this morning with the get-up thing here, outrageous. And a lot of people say it's all rigged. It's like, no.
Nope.
We're trying to catch him.
This group right here I don't think we would let anybody
Thank you. I would like a little bit more respect.
Yeah, we tried.
Super Bowl. AJ put half the deck of cards into his pocket to try and screw with O's, and then O's saw it and made him take them all out.
Draft night. You got the pennants.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, yeah, he's a demon, man. He's got a book though. He can teach you how to be a demon.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
that's my thing.
I don't know if I want that book. Nobody bashed 1,000, so the Big Night Out was tough. But today on Get Up, I believe he broke Bart Scott's brain and definitely broke Greeny's brain. He might still be in that studio stuck right there because you talked about the 77 and then throwing him off going to the 54. He did the same thing with the coaches to spell out get up this morning, it was wild. And knowing it, seeing it on TV now, knowing it's not a gimmick, knowing it's not a fugazi, because I definitely would think it if I didn't experience it my own. Scrolling through my phone, he got me maybe 2 or 3 more times. I think I don't want to be in his presence ever again.
Yeah, that's how I feel every time I'm around him. And then I'm like kind of oddly fascinated by what's going on here. Because he did the game day thing where he had me close my eyes, and he said a school will come to your mind. Okay?
Greeny.
Then he had Herb Street do something else. Think of another thing. Think of another school. So then Herb Street says he thinks of Clemson or something like that. And I thought of Georgia. So at the moment I thought, ooh, we got him. He fucked this one up. Like, this is not right. Because I said Georgia Bulldogs. And then Herb Street turns his thing around and it says Clemson on his dry erase board. I'm like, oh, no. We just ruined your whole thing, buddy. And then it turns out, no. They actually played each other. What was the final score? Oh, it was exactly what Saban did earlier and what Reese Davis did earlier. That was the final score. Those were the teams that played against each other. And there was some date. It's like the levels of shit. He like tells a story with all of his tricks. They're never done. They're never done, seemingly. And he just keeps going. We would just like to let the world know that is very pessimistic about these types of things, and maybe they're sick of seeing those, because I have seen that on the internet. I've seen people say we're sick of seeing this guy.
Yep.
Just know that we can understand why you're sick of seeing him, but if you have a chance to be around them, it's like it's a moment you're like, what the like, it doesn't make any sense. So I think that's why everybody's kind of captivated, that is in TV world, by him, because we all want it to be fake.
Yes.
We all want it to be bullshit, and then he walks right into that batter's box. And seemingly each time he takes a bigger bat. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to tie actually this guy over here, his shit ties into here. They spelled get up this morning with the first letter of all the different names that we're thinking of. He got somebody's ATM pin from an offensive lineman at the Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah. But first, it was Joe Burrow throwing it randomly to 2 people, throwing a ball randomly to a team meeting. And it was their numbers were that guy's pin.
Did it with the Bills, too. Did that multiple times.
Is that not just like...
Yeah, that's crazy.
How does that fucking work? I don't know how it works.
He got Rogan, too.
Got
Rogan
his pin?
Not amused.
Well, that is one of those things where...
I got your pin.
If you guessed my pin, I had to change it. Thank you so much. Yeah. Actually fucked me because I don't use my pin much, you know. Had to get money out. Put my old pin in. Didn't work twice. Didn't work twice. I thought I was going to lock it up. Yeah. I'm like, that is my pin. It has been my pin. And then immediately, little O's pops in my head. Ha ha! It's not your pin anymore. Remember, we did it in front of 1 million concurrents. We were doing the numbers for Big Night Out. Between YouTube, X, TikTok, we had throughout 1 million concurrents throughout that show. So how many people heard my pin?
All of them.
A lot. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Probably all of them.
And then the reruns.
There's no reason for him to do that to people. You know, can you pick something that isn't as detrimental?
Yeah.
To society there, just losing it all.
Thanks
hey, this guy's social security number. All right. I guess right now that'd be a pretty crazy thing to do. Anyways, we'll talk to Striggs about that and everything happening around the NFL and what he is hearing about some of the big names that are still available. Because remember, Striggs slept on the couches of a lot of these guys that are now in charge.
That's right.
Senior Bowl, having a good time down Mobile, Alabama as a young buck, trying to meet people. All the people he met now are basically running the league. So he happens to have a lot of information that other people don't have. Although he doesn't consider himself an insider, he is certainly that. We can't wait to catch up with him. The Talk Step was here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Conman, O's is a demon, but this Panthers team might be unstoppable. Yeah. I know they're at their 3rd straight finals. I know this is potentially their 2nd straight Stanley Cup. Connor McDavid, Draisaitl, and the boys still exist. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying they don't. But when you watch the Florida Panthers do what they did last night, it's hard not to be like, this is a wagon for the foreseeable future. And they just got Marchand on their team.
Yeah, exactly. Marchand. I mean, you just said it. Him and Sam Bennett together have been ridiculous. I don't know if you remember the movie Hancock, but in Hancock, Will Smith's a superhero.
I love it.
Fun fact, back when Facebook was a thing, favorite movies, Hancock was on there.
Okay.
NFL Films was filming me one time, asked me my favorite superhero. I said, Hancock, the drunk one. Next question. I am a big Hancock fan.
Okay, so then Hancock loses his powers when he's near
Around another.
Yeah, around another. It's kind of the opposite of Brad Marchand and Sam Bennett. When they're around each other, they almost become better. Sam Bennett now is the favorite to win the Conn Smythe Award, which is crazy because McDavid was the favorite at -2 something coming in. Marchand, a minute into the game, he scores his first goal, and then it was basically that was kind of all she wrote. Damn near. Verhaeghe, ridiculous snipe, and you mentioned over that right shoulder, that stick side high on Stu Skin. Gump's been telling us for a while, hey, Stu Skin will turn into a pumpkin. I'm not saying that happened, but I'd be surprised if we see Stewie Skin again. The problem the Oilers are doing is that they're trying to play Florida Panther hockey, okay?
I see that. They're trying to bully a little bit.
They're trying to bully, and granted, that's because the Oilers went and they grabbed Trent Frederick, who started the backyard brawl, if you will, last night. It's 5-1. The Oilers are just getting absolutely shit pumped, and because of that, they're trying to get into the heads, into the kitchens of these Florida Panthers. Little do they know that is where the Panthers live. Trent Frederick right there. Sam Bennett, he's been the superstar, so what's Trent Frederick do? Hey, let's screw with this guy. I'm going to break my stick over his back, and let's just start throwing hands. And that's what happens, but that's what the Florida Panthers thrive off of. Yeah. The Oilers are probably going with Calvin Pickard now, who got hurt earlier in the playoffs. As a
5-on-5 in the Stanley Cup Finals, full fight. I mean, what are we even talking about? This is 5-1. This game is over. The only reason this would happen is because the Edmonton Oilers just are trying to get under the Panthers' skin. Do you think that's going to happen to this Florida Panthers team? Absolutely not. Blood gushing down that guy's face. Couple cross checks from Frederick on Sam Bennett. One in the lower back, then breaks his stick across the wrist of Sam Bennett, the guy who's going to win the Conn Smythe, the MVP of this entire thing. So obviously the Panthers are like, I don't think so. This is all happening right in front of the Edmonton Oilers bench. I once again cannot reiterate the fact enough. Hockey is awesome. And the fact that you can just get a full 5-on-5 brawl in the Stanley Cup Finals in 2025 should make everybody say, this sport's the greatest of all time. There's only 3 refs out there.
Yeah.
There's 5 different fights. 3 refs. There was multiple times where that fight would go down to the ground, guys would catch their breath and say, no, we're not done yet. They'd get back up, start fighting each other, and the ref would have to come over. Then one ref would be struggling with one big-time fight, would call in a friend, stripes, hey, 2 refs, 1 fight. There's 4 other fights happening and only 1 ref to break it all up. This thing could have gone all damn night if they wanted it to, but the boys ran out of gas, the boys ran out of steam, and I think the boys proved themselves that, hey, you're not just going to disrespect us. The Edmonton Oilers said, we ain't no rollover bitches around here. We will put up a fight even if we're losing. And the Panthers said, is that right? Okay, we'll beat you 5-1 and beat your ass on top of it. As a Florida Panther fan, you got to love everything about it.
Man, loved everything about it. And post-fight, seeing the stick taps up against the wall.
So
I mean, it's just it's the height of obviously playoff hockey, the physicality, not only between the whistles, but after the whistles as well. And you knew this was coming. You knew this was coming from the Oilers once they were down 5-1 and pretty much gave up, I feel like, in the second period. It's one thing to be talented, but then to be talented and then be deep as well. You mentioned Sam Bennett and Marchand, but Barkey and Chucky, like they haven't even been giving them the production that you expect them to at this level. You're still getting all these weapons getting in there. Carter Verhaeghe, Swaggy, he's always going to put pucks on net, especially when it comes to playoff time. And then Bob is standing on his head.
Bobrovsky, the goalie for the Panthers.
Yeah, Bobby, standing on his head, man. So I loved everything about it. And that pop from the crowd, obviously Marshall got it started very, very early on. I think the earliest Stanley Cup championship goal in Panthers history. And then once Carter followed it up, that crowd was in it, and they never left.
One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, AP Dahn.
The one thing we do need to worry about is Connor McDavid and potentially an injury. Ekblad lined him up a bit last night, and then he went to the locker room. So, if McDavid's not 100%, are they going to be able to beat the Panthers? That's the huge thing to watch going forward. It didn't look like much there, but then the more of the replays they show, he got a little bit of a knee on that hit. So it's definitely something that we need to watch moving forward.
Yeah, and McDavid getting, back knee there, a little bit of a trail. Him ending up on the ice, obviously never good, not expected because of how great of a skater he is. Do you know how strong you have to be to skate as fast as he skates right now? That's the thing about McDavid. He's so explosive, but he's also so durable, seemingly. Edmonton Oilers without Connor McDavid, obviously this thing is signed, sealed, delivered to the Florida Panthers. But if he can stand, they will put him out there. That's the difference between hockey and every other sport. If you can get into your skates and get vertical, if you can stand up and down like 6 o'clock, shouts Q Rich,
yeah.
they will push your ass onto the ice and you will finish. So Connor McDavid will play. We'll find out what he's actually going through whenever the series is over, which is per usual in the hockey world. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, senior insider for the NBA at ESPN, friend of the program, the always handsome, ladies and gentlemen, Sham Charania. Shami, how you doing, pal?
I'm good. I have news. I do have news. I will be in the house tomorrow in Indianapolis, outside Gainbridge Fieldhouse. I will be there. It's up to something season. So if you're there live in person,
Okay.
you never know
Hell yeah,
what's
Sean.
coming your way.
Okay.
But you got to be in person to get it first, though, right? Like I think that's how it works.
Yeah, I think
You'll get it on social media, but you got to be there in person.
Yeah, I think person to person is certainly the fastest form of communication still in
Without a doubt.
2025. There is some telepathic
Telekinesis,
stuff
yeah.
that goes on with O's. I think that's faster. I think that's probably fastest than.
I need to learn how to do that. I feel like I would get more information quicker if I knew how to do that.
Do you think vocal communication or sign language is faster communication?
To me, it's always vocal. It's always vocal.
Yeah, but if I do that,
That's pretty quick.
That's you know what I mean.
True.
That's that's quicker than good.
Good job.
The eyes are closer to the brain, I guess. Now the ear's pretty fucking close.
If your ears are open,
There are some
Pat.
pretty complicated signs, though, where people will be going for 10 minutes, and it was just like, yep, that sounds good.
All right, if you had to guess what this means, what would you say that means?
Do it again. Do it one more time. Hammer down. Is that what that is?
Close.
Not a bad
Good.
guess.
Close. Shit happens, brother. Let's move along. Okay, so you'll be here tomorrow. Let's talk about the series, Oklahoma City versus Indiana. We cannot wait to see you live in person. We appreciate every time you travel to beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana. We'll be outside Gainbridge Fieldhouse tomorrow, starting at noon. Sean's
Up
going to
to
be one of
something
the.
season. Up to something season. That's all we gotta say. That's all we gotta say.
Okay, Sean's might be starting a new business. Maybe it's a hair product. Not a bad idea. For how good Sean's hair is. Let's talk about the series here, Oklahoma City, Indiana. Tyrese Halliburton was seen limping a little bit, getting on and off of his press conference box there. They have footage of him at shoot-around today. He has been moving around. He is there in the pink shoes, obviously the Halley ones, brought to you by Puma. He had a hell of a debut in those shoes. He had a game winner in the finals. Next game, game 2, not as great, obviously, for the Indiana Pacers. Game 3 tomorrow night. What should we be thinking? And what was that with Tyrese, or is it a big nothing burger?
Everyone around this time of year is banged up, dealing with something. I'm sure Tyrese Halliburton is dealing with some levels of soreness. He went through full practice today. I'm told he was feeling a lot better yesterday going into today. So I have not heard any concern level for his actual game status for Game 3 in Indianapolis on Wednesday. But listen, everything about Tyrese Halliburton's postseason this year, he's had the highest of highs. There have been obviously some lows too, like there is on any playoff run. But his numbers are staggering in wins versus losses in these playoffs. They haven't lost a ton during the playoffs, but in wins, he's averaging almost 21 points, over 10 assists. In the losses, about 12.5 points and about 7 assists. So clearly, when he's performing better, when he's more aggressive, when he's putting up numbers, they're a much better team, obviously. So I think how he comes out back at home, that's going to be a big sign. But I thought in Game 1, the Thunder got 19 turnovers out of Indiana in the first half, and they still lost the game. So to me, it's like Oklahoma City could clearly feel going into Game 3 that they should be up 2-0. Indiana gets one, so they took care of business. But their defense, we've seen it in both of these games, not only just in Game 2, where it was absolutely stifling. Like I was there at both games, but the way they were able to get Indiana to get turnovers and put them in uncomfortable positions and guarding, like the way they're able to switch every single play, it's the most elite defense in the league right now. And that's why you have to give them a great edge for the rest of the series. But playing again in Indianapolis, to me, I know those crowds are going to be crazy and packed. And so you have to feel good if you're Indiana going back home now.
Dejanot, obviously incredible coach, as is Coach Carlisle. You talk about
Dagenot.
Dagenot?
Dagenot.
I thought it was a little different.
I thought it was Dejanot.
Yeah, no, Dag.
Are you?
This is his fault.
Just call him Dags. Just call him Dags. I'll just give him a nickname out here.
Dags, okay.
All right, Dags. I like Dags.
Mark Dag.
Dags is a great coach, too.
That's strong.
Dagenot is a great coach. Obviously young out there in Oklahoma City with a team that could be great for, I don't know, the next 10 years if they are somehow able to keep everybody together, but they're a young crew. Let's go to Coach Carlisle on the other side. Obviously been around a long time. He's top 5, I think, in wins in the playoffs. If he wins another title, he'll obviously have a title with 2 different organizations. He's a guy that I think coaches hard on the Pacers. Do you think he's hammering home the message about Tyrese Halliburton to be more aggressive? Because I feel the way Tyrese plays, just by watching, he just kind of lets the game come. And if it's not right for him to kind of be aggressive, he'll let somebody else do it. Do you think there is maybe a little bit more of a messaging to Tyrese within the Pacers organization that he needs to think about putting a team on his back very early? And how do you think that gets handled?
I think they have full trust in him. But listen, Rick Carlisle, I've talked to players that have played for him in past years, whether it's in Dallas or in the past in Indy, and like, he's a very direct coach. So if Rick Carlisle brings you to the office or has a conversation with you, he'll be very blunt. He'll be very direct. So I'm sure him and Tyrese Halliburton have had some very direct conversations, and Tyrese Halliburton will listen to his coach. But I think there's a great level of trust for Tyrese Halliburton to feel out each start of the game. I do think you in the playoffs, Pat, especially in the NBA, later in these games, even when it's a blowout, you try to see what you can find. Any type of momentum is good momentum, and I think people will make of Tyrese Halliburton's fourth quarter and second half play as like, all right, he put up points in garbage time when they were already down 15-plus points. But listen, he did score, I think, 14 points in that second half, in that fourth quarter, being a big one. So maybe he found a rhythm there. Maybe he found something there, and we'll see in Game 3 pretty early on how he feels. But I will say on Mark Daigneault, we were just talking about him. He went and changed his starting lineup. He took out Isaiah Hartenstein in Game 1, put in Cason Wallace, and I think there was some feedback, some flack that he got. And I think he could have went back to the double big lineup, but he stuck with Cason Wallace in Game 2. They end up winning that game by a landslide. And I think this is a Thunder team that has been changing their lineups all year. They obviously have a very deep team. They have a guy named Jalen Williams. Pat, they have a guy named Jalen Williams who literally has shown that he can get triple doubles in games, and he sometimes doesn't play. But these guys are ready. Andrew Wiggins, he has a nominal role in Game 1. Then in Game 2, he becomes this unsung hero. So they have such a talented, deep roster that I think Mark Daigneault, I wouldn't be surprised with anything he does in Game 3 with his rotation.
Well, good luck to Dags figuring it out here in Indiana, okay, because it's going to be tough. Is it going to feel like a finals game when I watch it, though? How does the league feel about the lack of the trophies on the court and on the broadcast, and how it used to be something that was a big deal? Now it feels like, okay, we just got a title on the line here, as opposed to visually any big-time changes. Has there been any conversations about that? Because I saw people are not happy about the, I believe they were calling them Bush League ass or amateur ass.
I mean, it was that AI. Is that like what is that even called when you just self-impose that in there? Like I think, I'm sure the fans would much rather it be a real part of the court, a real element of the court. Because listen, you could put it on that version of it, but then you see, and you're actually at the arena, and you see that trophy's not actually there. And the other thing is, whenever they show the highlights, the trophy's not actually there either. So
Mickey Mouse.
I think, I think this is a better question for other executives, not me or the league, but. Adam Silver did do media last week in OKC, and he did say that they are going to look at this in the years to come, that I think he understands how much this means to the fans and that they're going to take a look at it. I saw there was a quote, I think a decade ago, where they said it was safe for the league. It was more safer for them not to have that decal there. But then you watch the in-season tournament, and there's this big in-season tournament.
Where they changed the entire boards. They changed the entire court for the in-season. I think Adam Silver said we're definitely going to talk about this going forward. Yeah, any team you see in the finals going forward, we're going to remind them pretty clearly, like, hey, this is a big. Remember that in-season Mickey Mouse?
You want it to have the feel, though. You want it to have that nostalgic feel. And I remember growing up, even in the playoffs, there would be this like playoff logo on the court for all rounds. And then when it got to the Western Conference Finals, there would be a Western Conference or Eastern Conference logo. And then the NBA Finals, there would be some, this cursive NBA Finals logo with the trophy. Yeah, there you go, with the trophy in the middle. Like, there's definitely some nostalgia. The league has gotten away from that over the last several years in the finals.
the Super Duper Cup's got a whole new court.
It does.
The Super Duper, they made an entirely different court for the in-season Super Duper Cup.
That doesn't even count.
And then the actual end of season one. Okay, I guess that's what we'll call it now.
Yeah,
we have an in-season one.
Sure. Yep.
Big deal, Super Duper.
Yep.
And then we have an end of season one that as a, it's like, come on, that feels like an oversight. That feels like an oversight. That feels like somebody not doing or paying attention to the situation or understanding the moment. That's what that feels like to me. And that could be I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
We got to start the petition, Pat. We got to start it. Adam might show up. Adam might show up to the live set. You never know. You never know.
Is that Adam? You're
know who's
speaking
gonna
of
show
Adam
up.
Silver? Is that who you're talking about?
You never know who might show up.
Oh,
to the
we
big
can't
dance.
wait for a brainstorm session with Adam Silver if he comes to the show. We would like Adam Silver to know we appreciate him. We are a big fan of his. We believe he does great jobs.
He did tell me once that he watches this show during lunchtime. Now, I don't know if that was talking about my passion for lunch or actually watching it at lunchtime because it shows up at lunch.
That's so
I
big.
think it's the latter. I don't think he knows about my interest in fetish for lunch periods of time.
Excuse me?
Fetish. I didn't know you were doing. I see you rubbing lunch. So I don't think I fully understand how those work. So you remember the Gray? What was his name? Christian Gray.
Yeah, great.
He had like peacock feathers and stuff.
Yep, everything.
Sean's got that with like forks and spoons and
And
Lunch
like
meat.
deli meats, deli meats, and good bread.
Yeah. Don't catch him.
Toasted bread.
Sometimes you're scrambling, Pat. You're scrambling. You have alerts on your phone to drink water. Sometimes you're just scrambling. You have oatmeal. I think that one time I had oatmeal. I was eating it with a fork.
Oatmeal. Wow, that's
Desperate times
Yeah, I poured it
call
on
for
himself.
desperate measures.
All right, we appreciate you. We'll see you
Getting
tomorrow, Shams. You're the man. Good luck with that fetish of yours. I know we're eating into the time, 12:30.
Yeah.
That's right in the middle of fetish time.
That's what we think.
Oh, my gosh.
Apple
Ladies and
pie,
gentlemen, we appreciate you. Senior NBA insider, Shams Charania.
Hey.
What was that all about?
Yeah, I don't know.
We know what he's doing with, his pork sausages.
What's that?
Let's just say he's beating his meats.
Jeez.
Big time.
Sounds like he's pining a little meat down there.
Yeah, deli meats.
He loves lunch, though.
He
He
does.
sets an alarm for lunch.
Yeah.
And then he tweeted out a bunch of times, yeah, it's lunchtime.
Yes, he did while in high school.
Every day it was a tweet about lunchtime.
Finally lunch.
Every day.
Every day. Yeah, I think there's like hundreds and hundreds of tweets of Shams Charania going like, time for lunch.
For shoot.
Is
Like-
it like a picture of him actually, like what he got, or
Just time for lunch, exclamation point.
Oh, Yep.
Doesn't even know what he's getting yet. He just knows that he's headed to lunch.
Some of them have like 50 exclamation points
And then he would use a fork, I think, for his oatmeal.
Yep.
and ice cream.
How do you feel about that?
That's interesting.
What was the comedian that was the very deep thinking guy? Gary Goldman, maybe?
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
He said, if I walk into your house and I see fork marks on your ice cream, I know so much about you. I already know everything about you. I know that on numerous occasions, you've been laying on your bed trying to get the corner of the fitted sheet, and you've been jumping trying to get that thing on there. He said, I know your pillowcase halfway off your pillow. If you're using a fork to eat ice cream, I know the way you live your life already. Shams Charania, I think, is the complete opposite of the type of person that you would assume uses a fork for ice cream, especially in that entire bit. But he's an interesting guy. Shams an interesting
Why
guy.
would that ever be moved?
If you have no spoon.
Exactly, that's
Yeah.
the thing.
No
The
clean.
only-
Yeah,
spoons.
all your spoons are dirty.
I mean, it takes what?
2 seconds clean a
seconds to
spoon?
clean
No, yeah, but those type of people we're talking about aren't cleaning their spoons.
Yeah, but Shams Charania is the type of guy I think would clean his spoon.
Yeah, he's more like American Psycho.
I could see him hand over fist.
I mean, it's a
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who's a 25-year NHL veteran, 6-time Stanley Cup champion. Absolute beast. Incredible on ESPN's coverage of the NHL. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Messier. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm not going to eat my ice cream with a fork. I can guarantee you that.
Have you ever?
I can't remember ever doing that, but I don't cut my pasta either, so I'm not going to do that.
Your what? You don't cut your what?
My pasta. Some people cut their pasta. I mean, who does that?
Okay, so is a Canadian thing to say pasta?
It is pasta, yeah.
Okay, so sorry about we're eating pasta. Okay, I
I'm
love
not- I haven't lost my Canadian accent.
that. Good. That's great news, especially in the world that you're in now. Moose, let's talk about the finals here. Let's talk about this Florida Panthers team. Obviously, last night was just a full ass beating, both fighting, I would say, at the very end, and then also in the game of hockey. What are your thoughts on what the Florida Panthers are doing? And was this just a bad game for Edmonton, or is this a sign of what the rest of the series is going to look like, you think?
Well, it's incredible what the Panthers are doing and the energy and the commitment that they're playing with 3 straight years to the finals there. This is a very impressive hockey team that we're watching right now. They are completely aligned in everything that they do. You talk about a culture, you talk about having an identity. Well, we're seeing it firsthand with the Florida Panthers right now, what that looks like, what a culture looks like, what an identity looks like, how they play to their systems and how they play to their talent. This is incredible to watch, to be honest with you. It was not a good night for Edmonton. They completely lost their composure. They completely lost what they do well in this game. They basically took the 2 greatest players of their generation out of the game by taking just undisciplined penalties, not playing with any discipline whatsoever. And it was not a good night for the Edmonton Oilers. Having said that, the series is a long way from being over. I know the Oilers are going to regroup, but they can't afford to continue to play like they're playing right now. That was not a good look for the Oilers. They weren't playing tough. That is not tough hockey. What's tough hockey is watching the Florida Panthers play. They're playing tough hockey from whistle to whistle. And all the other stuff that the Oilers were doing after the whistles is not, in my estimation anyways, called tough hockey.
Yeah, and the Florida Panthers answered all the after the whistle stuff that was happening too. That's kind of their MO. They love being in the mud down there in the ice. And I like the fact that the team that is the best in hockey right now is a tough team, an actual tough team, this Florida Panthers team. And they take pride in that style of hockey. Right there, the last highlight we showed was Sam Bennett getting 2 hits on 2 different guys. Mm-hmm. Then I think back checking or whatever, then going down and scoring on the other end. Just a sequence here that basically embodies who the Florida Panthers are here as a team. Well, and this is in the Stanley Cup Finals. Go ahead, Mark.
Oh, you just hit the nail on the head. Where you talk about embodying what the Florida Panthers are. This guy is that in every sense. He plays with emotion, but he doesn't lose composure by doing it. He plays a 200-foot game. He can wallop you with a body check like we see on the clip right here. But then to have the legs to get up ice or get back down the ice after the long shift, this guy is playing at a high level right now that I don't think anybody really thought that he could get to. He played great last year. He played great in the Four Nations. You can see the courage that he had in the Four Nations, sticking up and fighting for his country against a much bigger opponent, Brady Tkachuk. This is a great hockey player that is really having a great series so far, a great playoff in total. But wow, what a performance he played last night. Yeah,
he's the favorite to win a Conn Smythe right now, and it's been fun to watch that entire team. Marchand just seems to fit perfectly down there. Now, with all that being said, last night they had 6 goals. 5 of them seemingly went to the same spot. Stick side high. D-Bud has a question for you.
Yeah, you talked about being physically tough, but mentally tough obviously is very important when you're playing that goalie position. Have we seen the last of Stuart Skinner starting in net for this series?
I don't think so. I think they got to go with Skinner again. Game 4 is going to be a must-win for the Oilers there, and they're going to have to put Skinner in there and hope that he can get the job done. He didn't have a particularly good night, but I don't put it all on Skinner, to be honest with you. I don't think the team played well in front of him. We know Skinner, if he gets some time and he can get his feet set, he can make saves there. But they spent the majority of the game on, killing penalties, and Florida did move the puck around really well towards the end when the game was out of hand, but they have to ride Skinner at this point. There's no question about it. I don't see them making a change in goal. There was some short side goals that you talked about. No goalie wants to get beat on the short side on some shots that he was beaten on last night. But let's not forget, those are pretty good shots too. A couple of them up in the top corner, you could thread the needle up there. But ultimately, Skinner's going to have to play better. He's going to have to match Bobrovsky. But ultimately, the players themselves, the team in front of them, got to put him in position to be successful, and they didn't do that last night.
Stu Skin all year, great. Got hot during the playoffs, great. Then you get 6 past you. I do wonder mentally how you're able to do that, but that's your point. They were all snipes, Dahn, posting in, everything hitting. But
Pat, he's done that. He's done a great job of that the last 2 years of of not playing well and being able to bounce back and come in there and shrug it off. You talk about being mentally tough. You talk about being a tough hockey player. That's the kind of toughness that we need to see from the Edmonton Oilers, the mental toughness that they have to play with to get back to their game, including Skinner. They got to regroup. This is a team that has the ability to win a Stanley Cup. They got all the experience. They got all the tools that are needed. They got to go out there and find a way that makes them successful against a very confident, battle-hardened Florida Panther team.
It's going to be tough to answer the call here, but I think if anybody could do it, McDavid, Draisaitl, Stu, and the boys can figure it out. Now, they did show signs of life at the very end. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Moose, they started a 5-on-5 fight when they were down 5-1 towards the end. We've seen this time and time in the series this year. If a team is down a ton of goals, they're like, screw it. We don't care if we get a power play against us. We're going to start a fight. Is that an unwritten rule that if you're down 5-1 in a game, in a series, you just start fighting?
Look, I just don't see the benefit of it, to be honest with you. I think that if the Oilers want to play tough, they should be playing tough when the game's still in the balance from the opening face-off. But the fact is that both teams have to be more disciplined. I thought both teams actually took way too many penalties, needless penalties, careless penalties, undisciplined penalties. And that should have played well into the Oilers' hands, but it didn't last night. They took too many of their own. The Oilers, if they're going to win this series, have to be on the top side of the specialty team units right now, and right now they're not. They weren't particularly good on the power play last night. Their penalty killing struggled. And if it continues that way, the Oilers are going to be in tough in this series there. They have to get back to playing a disciplined hockey game, using their balance of what we've seen in the playoffs. They were getting balanced scoring in the first 3 rounds of this playoff series because they were staying out of the penalty box. They were playing discipline. They were giving themselves an opportunity. And when you got 2 guys like McDavid and Draisaitl, give them an opportunity to make plays in the game. Give them an opportunity, even if the game is close. They should feel comfortable playing in that kind of game because they can make plays all over the ice and when it matters most towards the end of the game. But right now, they got to regroup. I highly suspect that they are going to regroup. They have too much talent. They have too much experience now. They got to really kind of look at what they did in this game and park it, file it, and get themselves ready to play the kind of hockey that we've seen them play throughout the season and the playoffs.
On that note, Moose, Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Moose, obviously you mentioned, I mean, it's still early in this series. This thing's not done yet. But when you have a situation like last night where you not only get your ass beat on the scoreboard, but you try to mix things up a little bit and kind of get your lunch eaten in a fight like that, are there any residual effects moving forward for a situation like that?
I don't think so. I mean, like I say, I don't see the benefit of last night. If I was the Oilers last night, I would have much preferred to see them playing a hard game between whistles, continually taking the body. It was 7-1, and the Panthers were still finishing their checks, legally finishing their checks. That's the kind of commitment they put into their team game. Instead of this, I would have much rather seen the Oilers really playing hard hockey towards the end, really trying to finish their check and punish the Oilers and try to look at this as it's going to go 7 games and get the benefits there. But by slashing people on the back of the legs and taking cheap penalties, that's not tough hockey. That's not doing anything to the Florida Panthers other than embolden them to what they're doing is working.
I love to hear how passionate you are about not only Edmonton Oilers, which obviously you have history, but just the game itself. Like, hey, this is not how you're tough. You're embarrassing yourself here. This is not what we need in this entire thing. That's you shaking your head even more as I say that. That's exactly what you're saying here?
Well, I'm saying exactly like that. There's a way to be tough and a way to play tough. But being tough is going back under pressure when the guy is bearing down on you as a defenseman and taking the body check and moving the puck. That's tough. Being tough is getting in front of the net and taking a pounding to score a goal. That's tough. This stuff is not tough. That's not tough hockey, and this is not going to win it for you anything at this time of year. This is the Florida Panthers are playing to their identity. The Oilers got to play to their identity. This is not the Oilers' identity. I haven't seen the Oilers. They consider themselves a much bigger, stronger, more aggressive team, but this is not the way to be aggressive in the playoffs. This is not doing anything to the Florida Panthers, in my opinion. Anyways, I think the Oilers have lost composure. I think they feeling that they're being bullied. The Florida Panthers are just playing hard hockey, hard-nosed hockey. They're finishing their checks every time. The Oilers got to respond. They got to be able to take it, get themselves up, pick themselves up, and give it back in the same way. Between whistles, hard hockey, get to the front of the net, take a check to make a play. That's tough hockey.
We just heard the captain speak to the team.
Yeah.
It feels like that's what I felt like I was in the change room with you there. I feel like after the game, that is exactly what you would have said. That's what you want Connor to say, basically, in there to the boys. Hopefully, the message finds its home. Now, away from the series, there's other stuff happening around the NHL. Obviously, it is a professional league. There are people that get fired. There are people that move on. There's new jobs. Connor has a question for you, Moose.
Yeah, Moose, did you see Pete DeBoer's comments after the Stars were eliminated about Otter? I know a lot of people, especially Stars fans, weren't happy about it. What did you think about all of that? He kind of threw Otter under the bus, and then things got contentious, I guess, in the exit interviews with players just around their feelings about it. And do you think that's probably the right move for the Stars to go in a different direction just because they haven't been able to kind of get over that hump since DeBoer's been there?
Yeah, look, at Pete DeBoer is a great guy. I have a lot of respect for him as a coach. His record speaks for itself. It was a puzzling move that he made at that point. As a leader, you're looking for your leader to stabilize things. It was to me, it seemed like a rash decision. I'm not sure why he did it, other than maybe some frustration. But I think the players and everybody else were just as much as shocked as we were. And obviously that's what happened. But composure is very, very important when the pressure's on and when the pressure gets to its highest levels. And you're looking for your leaders to make really good decisions and keep a level head and keep everything kind of simmering and give the team confidence that you believe in them. I didn't think it was a good move, and ultimately he paid for the price for it.
How much can a coach change things? For instance, I'm a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, and I seen Coach Muse for the first time on a photo that,
beast.
He's changing things.
Yeah, you heard his voice, though.
I heard his voice, too. He's got a deeper voice, and it's like, okay, I know nothing about this guy. I think I probably should, but I know nothing about him other than this photo in one 30-second clip of listening to him speak. Whenever you get a new coach in town, what should we be looking for? Like, if he's had success in previous places, his style of coaching, like in hockey, what is the most important thing for a coach to be able to do? More specifically, this Pittsburgh Penguins team getting back in the Stanley Cup conversation.
Well, you can throw away all the X and O's there because I think it's pretty much a copycat league and everybody's basically doing the same systems and whether you can communicate that well is another thing. To me, it's all about, can you inspire a player? Can you help the player believe in himself and then the team? Can you give them a roadmap and a belief system that what we're going to do and how we're going to approach this year is going to bring us success, and then see success on top of that? That to me is what makes a great coach. And I think that some do it very well, and we've seen history of coaches that have lasted a long time. I just have so much respect for the coaching institution and the people that do it really, 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 really well. And it's not easy. There's a lot of things that coaches have to deal with, but ultimately you're talking about interpersonal relationships as a head coach. You're talking about can I get the best out of this player? You have to get to know that player on a deep level. Because sometimes players need a kick in the ass, other times they need a pat in the back. You can't treat every player the same. There's so much that goes into the psychology of coaching and to get the best out of your players. But the guys that do it well, and we're seeing a classic case of this happening in Florida right now with Paul Maurice, a seasoned veteran coach, has had a lot of failures in his coaching career. He's learned a lot, but when you see the coach and the player relationship that we're seeing in Florida right now, that is a higher level as it gets. The synergy, the belief, the trust, the inspiring relationship, and what you're seeing, the net result of that is the way they're playing on the ice and collectively together. The coach gives the players a voice in the room. There has to be peer pressure in the room. And if there's not, the coach can't fix that. The coach has to let the players drive the bus. Maurice has done an amazing job of doing that, all the while giving them guidance and correction along the way. That's what it looks like in its purest form. And I know there's many other examples that we've seen in other sports and with great coaches, from Phil Jackson to Pat Riley and all the greatest coaches that ever coached. Bill Walton talking about the great coach in UCLA, saying that they never used to even talk about basketball. They used to talk about life. And that's one of the greatest coaches of all time. So, we're seeing a really great example of it in Florida right now.
Yeah, Mo seemingly speaks for the group. The culture in football normally driven by the coach. Coach will want to set the culture. GM gets the players, coach sets the culture. Players have to institute culture. Players always have to police themselves. Every sport, we're adults. Locker room has to control locker room. But the coach is the one that's basically saying, hey, this is the type of team we're going to be. This is what I want it to be. Here's the thoughts. Same thing in hockey, like that Florida Panthers culture. Marchand goes down there. We know exactly what their culture is. We watch them. We know exactly what their culture is. Is that Mo setting the tempo and then Kachuk and the boys taking it to as their own?
Well, I think it goes from ownership right down to the general manager, right down to the coaching staff, and they have a belief system of what the culture is going to be, and then how they're going to actually play the game. And then you identify players that can fit into that culture, and then when they come into the team, you have the leadership that enables those players to come in and be themselves and their own personalities, but actually play to the system. There has to be a belief system inside the locker room that what we're doing is correct. The way we're going to play, the way we're going to try to win a Stanley Cup is correct. And so far, the Florida Panthers have done a great job identifying a way to win in the league as it sits right now. They play hard-nosed, old-school hockey that we haven't seen, and it's working. They're big, they're strong, they're skilled, but they're most important than anything, they're dedicated to their system, they're dedicated to the culture, and they got the leadership to can spread the word when they have new players assimilate into the system like they have again this year. 8 or 9 or 7 or 8 new guys again this year that have been brought in, wrapped their arms around them, bring them into the fold, show them what the Florida Panther way is on and off the ice. That's building a culture. Sometimes culture gets way too overused, and nobody even knows what the hell they're talking about when they're talking about culture. But we're seeing it right now with the Florida Panthers.
Everybody's trying to get one. Only a few have it. And those people are the ones that play the longest seasons in all the leagues because they're the ones that are winning. Let's talk about winning. Let's talk about what you're doing today. I believe you are golfing at an outing for Answer the Call. I just looked up this information. New York Police and Fire Widows and Children's Benefit Fund, who has been supporting heroes and their families of the New York Fire Department, New York Police Department, PAPD. I don't think I know what that is.
That's a Port Authority.
Port Authority, okay, Police Department since 1985. Thank you for doing that, and thank you to Answer the Call. How long have you been working with Answer the Call, and what does today look like for you?
Well, today is always an amazing day when we're here supporting the families that have lost their loved ones in the line of duty to protect all of us. I've been on the board somewhere around 10 years now, maybe. Shortly after 9/11, Rusty Staub started this charity way back when to help the families that have lost their fathers or mothers or sisters or brothers in the line of duty. After 9/11, it put so much pressure on the charity to come up with the funds to actually take care of these kids and these families. New York has supported this charity unbelievably through the years, obviously for all the right reasons. New York has stood up and been counted when it matters most, and it's been an incredible experience for me. The relationship that I have with the NYPD and the Port Authority and the FDNY, but most importantly, supporting these families, especially after 9/11, when it puts so much pressure on all these families financially.
Hell yeah, Moose. We appreciate you doing that. We appreciate, obviously, those who serve our community because those who run towards danger as opposed to away from it are a superhero. So you paying tribute to them.
I agree with that, buddy.
Yeah, you paying tribute to them and their families and helping them out. You're a good man, Mark. We appreciate the hell out of you. We'll talk to you soon. All right, Moose?
Yeah, man. Let's go.
Hell yeah. You've given 2-3 speeches today
yeah.
that have made me want to put the boots on and skate through a wall. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, 6-time Stanley Cup champion, Mark Messier.
Hey, Moose.
6 times.
6 times.
25 years.
Bro,
That's insane.
he lived in a change room.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still in it.
That was awesome.
He's still in it.
He's going to hit the ball 400 yards off the tee today. He's pissed. He's pissed at the Oilers.
That's not what toughness is. Tough isn't slashing or hitting guys behind the legs or on the wrists, getting your ass beat in fights. Toughness is standing in front of him in a goal, sacrificing your body so you can score.
Take a hit, move the puck.
Toughness is knowing that you're going to take a hit, still doing it.
Finishing your checks.
Listen to him, like him in the change room. You can see him doing one of these. You think you're tough? You think that's not tough? And then all you're doing is empowering them. That is what they want to do.
That's awesome.
That was literally him just getting dropped right back into Edmonton, being like, "That you think that's tough?" Think about him watching that game.
Oh God,
these mother.
So pissed. The amount of pride he has for Edmonton too. Like he's not biased, but he's definitely pulling for the Oilers.
All right, we have some updated.
Without a doubt.
I think they're going to rally.
Maybe it might not be. I don't know.
I think Connor's going to gather the team and say to them, "That's not tough." That was awesome. He was literally giving them a speech.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know if you're listening. Draisaitl, fucking Stu, you need to stop. I'm making all the excuses for you here. Okay, need to stick by him. He's the guy.
Get his ass back out there.
Yeah,
he's done.
That's Florida Panthers fan.
Yep. No, get him back. Hey, look, he's shown the ability to bounce back, and play hot. Someone in Gumpy said he would turn back into a pumpkin. I'm glad he did, but we'll see if he bounced back.
Gumpy also not good. CONCAFA loses to the number 2 team in TST in the semifinals. I don't know if you saw the finals last night. Electrifying.
So good.
Absolutely electrifying. Bad pitch.
Bumpy pitch. The lads from Bumpy Pitch.
Just glad to see they were calling slide tackles last night.
So Gumpy and the refs of TST certainly have a relationship. I don't know if it's necessarily a great relationship, but it's certainly a relationship. Gumpy told me, because I was not able to be there, Gumpy told me that the refs told him, "I missed the call. I forgot that was the rule. I'm so sorry." And then Gumpy says, "You're terrible" or something. And then the guy said, "I was just trying to tell the truth, man." And Gumpy said, "You shouldn't have. You should have lied to me. This is shit."
He said he forgot the rule, and then his assistant said, "I told you the rule 3 times in your ear." And he said he didn't hear that, too. So it was a few things there that got to where we were.
And then a ref goes, "I was just trying to tell the truth." And Gumpy goes, "You're shite. And you're shite."
Total.
Did you hear the other ref story? The picture went out of the CONCAFA team, and Connor texted Gumpy and said, "Why are you not in this picture?" He said, "I was yelling at the ref."
Oh yeah, whenever we got a whole team photo.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Gumpy was over there in the middle of the pitch, just letting him have it. We won that game.
Yeah, I know. Huge win.
They're still shy.
Breck shared an apology
I'm
too.
just-
Sorry, Breck.
Yeah.
You were not long in the tooth. Grella, I told you. Hey, Grella, time to hang up the boots, lad.
No, Greta's still.
He played that ball in for Breck's winner, dude.
All right, we gotta correct the story. Shamar Stewart, we said his agent must be a super genius.
Yeah.
It's kind of slotted in there. What are we doing? You're the 17th overall pick.
Yeah.
The CBA has this thing. Pro Football Talks Mike Florio has reported, as previously explained, so I guess he has done this before, not enough people saw it, and that is what he is saying.
Sorry, Mike.
The Bengals have decided to wedge a new clause into Shadar Stewart's deal. The clause would turn a default in any given year into a void of all remaining guarantees. In prior Bengals contracts, a void wiped out only the guarantee for the year in which the default occurred. Stewart refuses to be the guinea pig for the new term, and the Bengals refuse to blink. As a result, Shamar Stewart will be less prepared for training camp than he would have been. Okay, so the Bengals are doing Bengals stuff.
Yeah, what the hell?
I respect it. I respect what
I like what the agent's doing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be the first one. How am I supposed to tell? He's also a young agent.
Yeah.
So I'm a young agent. I'm supposed to just tell this, for the first time ever, we're agreeing to something. No way. Why are the Bengals doing this?
They're the worst. That's
They
why.
do.
And to Shamar and the agent, we apologize for not knowing that before. Florio tried to tell us. Hour 2 is on the other side. We'll talk to you then. There is a crowd of about 30 people moving through the back end of the business field here. And in the middle of it is this black Samoan man who has become the most famous human on earth.
Great guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the GOAT, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. There's thousands and thousands of people skipping class to come see your big ass.
Listen, there is thousands and thousands of you skipping class. It doesn't matter if they go to class.
Moana is one of the best animated films of all time.
What?
Okay, can't wait for the live action.
Thank you, yes.
But
You're welcome.
We talk about Mana,
What can I say except you're welcome?
and we talk about Mana.
Honestly, listen, kid, I could go on and on. I could explain every natural phenomenon. The tide, the grass, the ground. Oh, that was Maui just messing around. I couldn't let it buried its guts. Sprouted a tree, now you got coconuts. What's the lesson? What is the takeaway? Don't mess with Maui when he's on a breakaway. And the temperature here on my skin is a map of the victories I win. Look where I've been to make everything happen. Look at the me new Maui just tickety-tapping. That's it.
Still got it.
On the Samoan side, Polynesian side, we have a word called mana. Mana is spirit. Mana is power. Mana comes from in here. It's the thing that gives you goosebumps. It's that thing you feel. It's that thing when I walked out and we felt this thing. This is mana. This is mana. It's very, very, very real, and you could feel it. Wow. Little things like I don't get driven anywhere. I don't want to get driven anywhere. I don't like chauffeurs. Keeps me in my way just a little grounded. Like I could drive myself everywhere and not telling some guy, hey, take me here, take me there.
That is something I'm going to start saying like, yeah. Because when they open your door, you feel so bad. I can open my own door, dude. They're trying to be courteous. It's their job. But also, the day I stop opening my own door is the day I become a big old bitch.
Here we go.
That's a big cup.
Sorry, Mike. And here's the iconic sound. You guys know it. This special Terramana toast goes out to Passion. Congratulations on your show. Very proud of you. Very proud of all you boys. And to all of you. Love you guys. Thank you for the support. Keep kicking ass. Cheers. In my world, when I sit down and we're talking about movies and all this other shit, it's never this. It's never this, back with the boys, and you. So I appreciate it, and this one's to you. Thank you, boys.
See you, pal. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers. All right, we're going to take a 5-minute break here.
Oh, hold on, one more. If you smell what the Rock is cooking. The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further. Hey.
What?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. You pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this off-season football Tuesday, June 10th, 2025. Hour 2 of the program begins now. Sports are happening all around us. We just got a chance to chit-chat with Mark Messier. I read one person on X who runs like a coaching leadership university say that Mark Messier just put on a master class on building culture, leadership, and coaching others on this particular program, and I agree. There was 3 different speeches he gave that I wanted to go run through the nearest wall and go get the job done. Will the Edmonton Oilers adhere to his advice, adhere to his leadership, and answer the call after the Florida Panthers win 6-1 last night down in Florida and take a commanding 2-1 lead in the Stanley Cup final? They could go back-to-back as Stanley Cup champions for the 8th time in the league's history. They'd be a dynasty that people would be forced to talk about forever. And are they done just after this season? I don't think so. They're seemingly continue to be on the rise down there in Sunrise, Florida, with Kachuk, Sam Bennett, and all the boys buzzing. But Connor McDavid, Draisaitl, Stuart Skinner, and boys from Edmonton have a chance to represent all of Canada, to be the first Canadian franchise to win the Stanley Cup since 1892.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wait, what was that?
Salem Witch Trials.
1993.
Feels like it's been since 1814 since a Canadian program has won the Stanley Cup. Their game, our league, we win again. The Florida Panthers obviously filled with a bunch of Canadian players.
Yeah,
no, I don't think they have any.
Yeah, no Canadian players down there. No Canadian products, no Canadian accents, no nothing on that Florida Panthers team. With that being said, Connor McDavid on the other side, worth a watch, and I'll be excited to see how he answers. I assume there's some cameras behind the scenes somewhere. Can't wait to see how the entire year has kind of this guy. That's in the Stanley Cup final against the Stanley Cup champions. Against that dynasty team I was just chit-chatting about, that could be. That was against that team in one of the biggest games of the entire. Oh, come on. See ya. That guy's on the other team. And the Florida Panthers beat them 6-1 somehow last night. Will they be able to continue this run? We shall see. The NBA Finals continues tomorrow night here in Indianapolis, Indiana. We'll be live outside the site of tomorrow night's game, the Gainbridge Fieldhouse at Bicentennial Plaza, starting at noon. Beautiful backdrop. We would actually do the show there every day if we could. Because of how nice the backdrop is.
Nicest backdrop we've ever had.
So getting a chance to go down there and celebrate the NBA Finals. If you're in town from Oklahoma City, please feel free to stop by. Obviously, if you're in the area not working, which could be a difficult thing, please come through. I believe summer has hit for a lot of schools, college and high school and everything like that. I think tomorrow should be a fun day.
Be beautiful out
downtown Indianapolis with perfect weather. Yeah. Celebrating this Indiana Pacers team, who obviously is tied in the NBA Finals. Game 1's ours. Tyrese Halliburton called game. Game 2, they kind of did their thing. They did their thing to the Indiana Pacers. And now Oklahoma City's favored by 5.5 in Indiana. We shall see. We'll be kicking it all off tomorrow. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Go ahead, comment.
OKC's 0-7 against the spread as a favorite on the road, I believe, was the stat that was sent in.
One half of the hammer, Dahn.
And on the other side, the Pacers are completely defeated in Game 3, so one of those is going to have to bust.
Yeah, the Game 3 thing with the Pacers is very real.
They've been up 2-0 in all the other series, I believe.
Yes, they've stolen them on the road because they were obviously lower ranked than everybody else that they've had to play against, because the Indiana Pacers' beginning of their season was ass. Oklahoma City has been playing great since the beginning of the season. Oklahoma City's the team that everybody said we should be talking more about. SGA is going to be the MVP. He was. Chet Holmgren's not just good for bad commercials, he's also good on the court. He is. This coach, Dags, which people are calling a lot of different names, wizard, genius. This Oklahoma City fan base, best atmosphere in the NBA. People have been saying that all year about this Oklahoma City team. For the Indiana Pacers, nobody's been saying that but us. Although since February, they've had the best record in the NBA alongside the Oklahoma City Thunder. They were kind of outcasts. Overrated is what everybody said. No chance of going on a run. Well, now what? In the finals. 1-1. First home game coming. I'll be excited to see how the Pacers answer after a loss. Haven't lost back-to-back games since March.
It's a long time.
Since March. Haven't won a Game 3. So that's going to have to give as well. 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler is here.
It's going to come down to that man right there.
What's that?
It's going to come down to Hallie. How does he set the tone? Obviously, with this series, he's going to have to score more. He's going to have to be aggressive from the jump to get his team going. We know how he does distributing the ball. But turning up his aggressiveness on the offensive end late in the game, I don't think that's going to work against this OKC team, because they just keep going the whole 60 minutes. So I'm sure Carlisle will have the boys ready to roll, and I'm excited about this matchup tomorrow for sure.
Me too. Gamebridge should be buzzing. I believe we'll be in there. I cannot wait to feel that. You know, the finals atmosphere.
Oh, yeah, it's different.
Just like the conference finals, final 4 minutes, Connor pointed it out and was like, hey, this is it. This is it right here. There's a buzz that's palpable throughout this entire arena. The Pacers are going to the finals. Holy hell, we just won the Eastern Conference. Last year, we made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Nobody expected us to do it. Nobody talked about it because we got swept by the Boston Celtics, who inevitably go. We're back. We win it. Now we're going to the actual finals. How do you feel? We feel great. I think that's how Oklahoma City fans feel as well. It's a great time for us to be fans. We're going to enjoy the shit out of it. It's going to be loud. It's going to be a good environment. It's going to be a great game. Pascal Siakam going bananas would be sweet, too.
Yeah, I'd be one of those.
Yeah, that would be very cool. Watch him do a couple of those wild whoop-de-woos that he does those things with. He is absolutely spectacular to watch in person because he's way too tall to be moving the way he is. Can't wait to see this guy. 6'6", they say, true. SGA with the way he moves and everything he does. Cannot wait to watch. It's going to be fun. Should be exciting tomorrow night. Okay, we start at noon tomorrow. Come join us outside. Joining us now, live from an attic in Ohio, is a man who's college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup winner, father of 10, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hall.
Yeah.
Hawker, obviously, big news around the sports world. Last night, the Panthers get a big-time win. They're up 2-1. The NBA Finals continues tomorrow night. We'll be live noon outside Gamebridge. A lot of football talk, AJ, a lot of football talk. And let's start with a man that is your best friend. Aaron Rodgers went to a golf outing yesterday. All of Pittsburgh's buzzing. They love him. They love that he's there. Have you gotten a sense from Aaron on how he feels? And this morning, Zach Frazier was speaking to the media. He's the center for the Pittsburgh Steelers out of West Virginia University, formerly of Morgantown High School, where West Virginia University is based. Absolute dog for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He said Aaron Rodgers addressed the team this morning and told him he's all in from here on. Wasn't able to commit. I think Aaron's message has been very clear this entire offseason if you're willing to listen. Now, if everything he says, you think to yourself, oh, bullshit, I hate this guy. You're never going to hear this. But if you listen to what he says, he's been telling the truth the entire time. I'm not able to commit to anybody through OTAs. So I can't do that. That is just something that in my life, I cannot do right now. After OTAs, I can make a decision then if you're cool with that. The Steelers, I guess, behind closed doors, created an offense for Aaron Rodgers. I guess they had a lot of faith that Aaron Rodgers was going to commit after OTAs. They were very okay with a 40-plus-year-old, 20-year-plus future first ballot Hall of Famer, Mount Rushmore football player missing the voluntary OTAs. So they've been ready for him. Seems like he's probably been ready for him. And now in Pittsburgh, after he goes to Cam Hayward's golf outing and meets people and showcases a little bit of, positivity in the city and embracing the city, I think all of Pittsburgh's excited for him, Age. What are you hearing from Aaron?
Yeah, I think Aaron is very engaged and he's juiced. I think anytime you have like a change of scenery, anytime it's something new, like think about that, walking into a new facility, like everything is new, even though you're 20 years into your NFL career and you've won the Super Bowl and MVPs and all of this. I still think something new and novel can energize you. Now, I know we said this about the Jets whole situation. We saw how that worked out. That was obviously a brutal situation with the Achilles to kick it off. But I don't know. I think maybe people's expectations aren't as sky high as they were when he first joined the Jets. So Agreed. Maybe we're on the path for some good things for this Pittsburgh Steelers team.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with what you're saying. I don't think anybody outside of the Pittsburgh Steelers, maybe locker room and family members, are saying, let's win a Super Bowl with this team. Every team has to have that mindset. Every team in the locker room is like, hey, we're going to win a Super Bowl. We're going to have a team that's going to be able to do it. Joe Thomas, legendary Cleveland Brown, never made the playoffs. Never even thought about making the playoffs.
No.
He's a Hall of Famer, this guy, for one team. He said every year they went into the season thinking they were going to win a Super Bowl. He said there was never a moment where he was like, you know what, this team is going to end up being completely defeated. Now, as the season's going on, I'm sure those moments cracked in. But in training camp, in the offseason, at some point you have to believe that what you're doing is right. So in the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room, I assume there's a lot of belief. Like, hey, look what we were able to do without Aaron Rodgers. We get Aaron Rodgers in here, another year with Arthur Smith's offense. Our defense is always going to be good. Special teams is going to be good. The AFC North is obviously going to be difficult, but why not us? If we get in, we can go on a run. But I don't think there's many even Steelers fans like saying, definitely going to win a Super Bowl this year. I think they're going to be better. I think Steelers fans think they're going to be better. I think they're going to win more games. I think they're going to have a chance to do a playoff run, but I don't think anybody's like guaranteeing a Super Bowl like what was kind of happening with the Jets.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of happening with the Jets because of how desperate the Jets fans have been to feel that feeling. That was like the first time in a long time they've even been able to be like, yeah, we can win a Super Bowl. That was the Jets world. Yeah. Steelers world, vastly different. It's just like, think we can be better, think we can win some playoff games, but it's not like a guarantee that a Super Bowl is coming like what it felt in the Jets.
No, I haven't seen any Steelers fans saying like, oh, we're definitely going to the Super Bowl because we got Aaron Rodgers. The majority of them are pretty level-headed in thinking that Aaron definitely gives them a better possibility to win football games, maybe get a playoff win. But no, I haven't heard anyone say that they're going to the Super Bowl. But it's awesome to see Aaron assimilate himself so quickly with the boys. What was there, like 25 guys at the golf outing in that photo?
Shout out to Cam Hayward, by the way. Yeah. Continuing to be a pillar in the city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Legend in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
And also legend in football. Guy's future Hall of Famer. Good on him getting all the boys there.
Getting all the boys, like it shows you just how great of a leader he is. He's also former Walter Payton Man of the Year, so he's always doing stuff for the community.
Hell yeah.
But to see Aaron there, to see Aaron's comfortable enough to stand up in front of the team today, say that he's all in. He's locker mates with Freiermuth, and I saw a report that he's going to go with Muth to the U.S. Open as well this week. He's already,
Pittsburgh's alive.
Yeah, he's already part of the team.
I think Aaron said he wants to go Plum High School too.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, go Stangs.
Why not?
He wants to go see the Mustangs a little bit.
Stomping ground.
There's somebody in Plum that heard that thinks that's real. I'm making that up. Okay, he is not.
They should do a training camp practice from Plum. I know the Bengals used to come to Centerville High School and have a whole day of camp in full pads at our high school. It was a gigantic event.
Don't do anything the Bengals do.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this?
I'm sorry to the players, actually. I don't want Pittsburgh to have to get in buses and travel and dress in high school locker rooms.
They won't. Wait a minute, Steelers say, yeah, we're on that. And then, it's kind of, yeah. But if they were to do it, Plum would be a great home. Plum would love to have you. Joining us now is a man who probably knows more about what's going on in Cincinnati than we do. I would hope he does. I don't know if you read the same report that we did about Florio and what Florio is reporting about the number 17 overall pick not agreeing to a deal yet with the Cincinnati Bengals. The way Florio is reporting it, as previously explained, I've reported this before. Okay? As previously explained. This ain't the first time I'm letting
Nobody's listening to me, obviously.
Bingo. He's like, everybody keeps saying the wrong shit, which we were one of them. Mm-hmm. So we appreciate him saying that he has reported this before and we missed it. We apologize for missing it. Yeah, the Bengals are exercising a new clause. Mm-hmm. We dug through the CBA, figured out that we could actually void all the years remaining instead of just the year that the whatever takes place happens. So we're going to try this out with the number 17 overall pick. And his agent said, I'm young, but I'm not that dumb. Can't be doing that to me. So now there's no end in sight because I assume the Cincinnati Bengals would like to set precedent with this deal. This is what we would like the future deals to look like. And Shamar Stewart and his agent are like, no. How is that? Why is that our life? And then I assume his agent is saying, why don't you guys figure out Trey Hendrickson, too, if you're going to be trying to sneak new clauses into our world. Joining us now, insider, analyst, Emmy Award winner, friend of the program, New York Knicks super fan. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Schrager.
Yeah,
Schrags. Okay, so we saw Florio say, as previously explained, which was him saying, you should have seen this or known this a long time ago. The Bengals are trying to put in a new clause into Shamar Stewart's contract. This has not happened with previous Bengals draft contracts, is how Florio's reporting it. Have you heard anything out of this? And what are your thoughts on this? I thought the CBA regulated exactly how much everybody's getting when. I guess that's not the case, Schrags.
Well, it used to be the assumption the last several years that where you're drafted is kind of what you're paid. So the idea of a rookie holdout would be completely illogical. You're going to get paid what you're owed just based on the structure of it. Now, I think Shamar Stewart's agent's an interesting guy. Zach Hiller's his name. He's also James Cook's agent, and he was Dalvin Cook's agent. And he's a young cat. He's about 30 years old, and he kind of beats to his own drum. And he's saying what he's saying. And the Bengals are saying what they're saying. And if you're going to take it for its word, you would look at the Bengals' handling of the Trey Hendrickson situation and say, well, that seems pretty unorthodox as well, and a little unkosher with how that's being done. But they weren't just going to take the deal that was given to Shamar Stewart. He hasn't stepped foot on a practice field, and that was including rookie minicamp, and that's including this minicamp. And guess what? Training camp's right around the corner, and you almost think you draft the 17th overall pick as a defensive end and a physical freak to be the guy who could ultimately replace Trey Hendrickson. And there seems to be contract issues with both of them. Not the case in 31 other training camps, but it seems to be the case in Cincinnati.
Okay, so we see where Schrag sits in this entire thing. For that last statement, a lot of Bengals fans are saying, why you guys got to bury us? It's like, because this shit does happen with you guys.
All the time.
And it seemingly doesn't happen anywhere else. Now, would Duke be able to take care of it? I assume when push comes to shove, this will all get sorted. This will all get figured out. Like, I think the Trey Hendrickson deal will get figured out. Like, I think that will happen. I think there will be some sort of agreement. Or maybe he gets traded. I think there will be a decision that gets figured out. Shamar Stewart has to be on the field for training camp. I mean, this isn't even like number 17 overall. I feel like they get it figured out. Why do these teams continue to push things down the road, though? Now, I guess we could say Shamar Stewart could have taken a deal earlier, too, so we could put blame on him. But let's look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. We always talk about Aaron Rodgers being there, Cam Hayward putting things together, T.J. Watt missing minicamp, Terry McLaurin missing minicamp. There's a lot of guys that are missing minicamp for one reason or another, most of them just business reasons. What are your thoughts on how some of these teams handle things? And when you look at these guys, what do you think is probable outcomes for any of them?
Well, I really appreciated Mike McDaniel's candid honesty today, saying Jonnu and Jalen aren't there, and I don't have updates on the trades, and it's unfortunate they're not there because of business. And for Jonnu Smith's case, it sounds like he was sick and tired of hearing his name mentioned in trade talk, so I'm not going to come to this. McLaurin, obviously, contract situation. Stewart, rare rookie deal. Hendrickson, contract situation. Then we got TJ Watt. You had JJ in there a week ago, and JJ Watt was like, I'm not talking on this. Obviously, something's brewing. TJ Watt probably saw the offseason in which Myles Garrett got paid what he got paid, saw some of these other top pass rushers being paid, and says, well, what about me? Fortunately, he's got years left on his contract. Fascinating when you get these that go and bleed into this, because the last thing you want is for it to dominate your training camp. And that is what the 49ers have had the last several years. So this year, they decided to nip it in the bud and pay their guys, Purdy, Warner, Kittle, before we even get to this point. It's two different strategies. Do you play hardball? Do you play chicken? Do you let this thing drag on as a team? Or do you say, well, we want you. You want to be done. Let's get it done now so we can avoid any drama heading into the season. I believe a lot of 49ers people thought what was going on with Brandon Ayuk last year, that bled all the way into late August, had a direct response to how the season went, because everyone was dealing with that all summer. So to me, it's fascinating how these front offices work. Omar Khan obviously pulled a rabbit out of his hat, and I think the Rodgers situation might not have been as seamless as everyone wants, but right now it's kumbaya, and you'll see him speak today, and all is good. This one, though, if you're a Steelers fan, is almost more important because it's TJ Watt. It's one of ours. It's our guy. It's our defensive player of the year, and that's the heart and soul of our team. Can we take care of that as well?
Yeah, Aaron getting $10 million guaranteed, I think, is great news for Pittsburgh Steelers fans and how they view it. TJ Watt, the last person introduced whenever the defense is introduced onto the field at home games. So obviously he's a pillar piece, but him potentially getting 35-40 million a year versus Aaron getting 10 million a year is certainly the piece of the conversation in the entirety. I'll be excited to see how Omar Khan gets TJ to sign it, because everybody assumes TJ remains with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But what if he isn't? What if TJ Watt isn't a Pittsburgh Steeler?
Wow.
What if TJ Watt is playing somewhere else?
What's Tone got? What's he got?
I can't even picture it.
JJ left Houston.
That's not possible. He's a one-helmet guy. Omar's going to get it done. Like you said, you talked about it. We haven't paid the quarterbacks in, 3 years? We haven't had to pay a quarterback since Ben retired, really. Top of the market money. So, the money's out there. TJ's going to get paid. He's going to get what he deserves, which is $1 more than Myles Garrett. And then we're just going to play football.
Maybe it will be an actual $1 more. Now, another guy you mentioned there, AJ has a question about.
Yeah, Shregs, with Trey Hendrickson, I don't think they come to terms and find a way to get him a new contract. I just feel like with what's been going on, him showing up in the golf clothes and speaking to the media to let everyone know his side of the story, I don't see a deal happening. What do you think personally happens with Trey in Cincinnati, and can they trade him? Where could he possibly go? What do you think happens here before the season?
This one's sticky because he's beloved, and he's beloved in the locker room, and the team really likes him. He mentioned on your show, he met his wife in Cincinnati. He had his kid in Cincinnati. He wants to be a Bengal, and simply saying, look at the market. It doesn't make sense for what I'm being paid. I can tell you the Bengals approached this offseason with two priorities. Somehow, some way, getting T. Higgins and Jamar Chase to remain as Cincinnati Bengals in their free agent contract years. And guess what? They did it. Then they get this bomb dropped on them around the combine that Trey Hendrickson wants to be paid $30-40 million, and that they didn't budget for that. They didn't prepare for that. Now they've had some time with him not only speaking on your show, but also speaking to the local media, showing up in what appeared to be a golf attire, said, here I am. I'm going to talk to you guys openly. There has been enough time. If they wanted to get this done, they could have figured this out and found a way to find the budget and the numbers before training camp. They haven't moved heaven and earth to do that. So they're at a standstill right now, and he's gone about it in such an unorthodox way. He's not going through an agent. He's not going on some podcast. He's like, I'm going to show up in my golf attire, be on the sidelines, and I am also going to go on McAfee and going to speak with Pat directly about how I feel. Everyone feels he's a good guy and he's done this right. He's turning 31. They look at dollars and cents, and they look at a pie as a budget, and does this pie make sense to have that much of our salary cap devoted to a guy who led the league in sacks last year, but we don't know if he's the future of this franchise.
So Trey Hendrickson saying, with that being said, let me go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Let me go somewhere else. Let me figure that out. And the Bengals are like, nah, you're still under contract with us, I think. Isn't that kind of, you want me to trade away the sack king? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And Trey Hendrickson's trying to do it the right way.
Trying.
But
it's the wrong way.
He's trying hard.
Yeah.
It's so against.
That's the thing. I think that's interesting. So the right way might mean not necessarily stupid. Yes, he's talking openly and being transparent and putting his heart on his sleeve. He's also not living up to his contract.
Yeah. Well, he would say I lived up way past my contract because I'm the sack king with how much I got paid in the entirety of it all. But then with you saying he's missing mandatory minicamp, like that's also part of the contract. And then Trey Henderson would say, well, I was here for a voluntary day. You saw me. I was in golf clothes. So we can make one of those days go back the other side. His mindset, every time he comes on with us, it's very obvious that he does not want to, I do not want to have to do this, but I have to do this. This is the way the world works now. Him following up and talking to the local media, I think that was kind of unexpected on our end. But it's like Trey is, I think Duke knows. I think the Brown family knows, Katie. I think that, will Trey hold out? Trey will skip games? We'll see.
I hate testing a guy's loyalty like that. And, very quietly this offseason, Sam Hubbard's the heart and soul of that building. And then you had Pratt yesterday. These are guys that were instrumental in beating the Kansas City Chiefs that year in the AFC Championship game. Instrumental in getting them back to the AFC Championship game the next year. You don't just snap your fingers and say, okay, we found those guys. At the very least, the thread to those defenses that Coach Lou Anarumo had to this Al Golden defense could be the sack champion in Trey Henderson. You'd like to see them figure out a way. And the fact he wears his heart on his sleeve endears the fans, but it might not to the Blackburn ladies, and it might not to Duke Tobin.
Yeah, we shall see. Trey Henderson is a hell of a player. Going to have a lot of teams interested, including Lou Anarumo's new team. I'd assume there'd be some interest in that. Now, let's talk about the Indianapolis Colts, because there is a situation brewing with the number 4 overall pick and a quarterback that is in an open competition with Daniel Jones. Go ahead, D-Bud.
Yep, quarterback competition here with Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. Some unexpected news, at least from me. Anthony Richardson still dealing with this shoulder injury, and then Kirk Cousins showing up in Atlanta to the mandatory stuff. Any chance, if Anthony Richardson can't go this year, that Kirk Cousins makes his way to Indianapolis?
Oh,
that's I like that you would even suggest that, Debo. I respect it. I don't have any word of that. From right now, from what I'm hearing, it sounds like Cousins, with his no trade clause, after Rodgers' seat is filled, is going to be an Atlanta Falcon, and he's going to be the backup to Michael Penix, and he's going to collect every last cent of that contract.
That's such a Kirk Cousins move. What do you know about Anthony Richardson's situation? Because Albert Breer was on the Rich Eisen show yesterday, and he basically said that Anthony is burning sage, getting bad vibes. Especially because we're talking about this.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Need good vibes for this particular storyline, because this is seemingly becoming a repeat episode here. He's going to see Dr. Neil Elitrosh, is what Albert Breer reported on Rich Eisen's show, to get a second opinion. Now, obviously, we know Dr. Neil Elitrosh for creating the Achilles factory where Aaron Rodgers was. He's also a shoulder dude, Neil Elitrosh. Neil Elitrosh, great hair. Great suits, really good vibe, big brain, a lot of success rate. He did the surgery on Anthony Richardson's shoulder that has been re-aggravated. Do you know anything about this? And what do you think expectation levels are heading into training camp for AR?
It's a setback. And look, Elitrosh is the top of the game. I don't need to do a commercial for Neil Elitrosh, but you're talking about Matthew Stafford swears by him. You're talking Andrew Whitworth swears by him. And, of course, Tom Brady also swears by him. So you're talking about this particular, it's not just an Achilles guy. He's created the factory for Rodgers and Dobbins, and that's fine. But he's also the shoulder guy and the throwing guy. So he's going to the right person. He's doing it. But I'm telling you, there's something about bringing in a Daniel Jones, who was a former 6th overall pick and is now got a giant chip on his shoulder. And there's something about vibes and year 3 of Shane Steichen. And what do we do? And Chris Ballard is now on to another quarterback, where sometimes the momentum in the locker room can shift. Even if you didn't do anything wrong, you're just not there. This could be Daniel Jones grabbing this team by the collar and saying, hey, look, I'm going to be the one that leads us. And if he's not here and he's not on the field, give me that opportunity in July and give me that opportunity in August. Anthony Richardson, look, Ballard and Steichen, their name's on this. 4th overall pick, their name is on that. That is no doubt. But Daniel Jones could also be the hot guy and also the guy that has something to prove and just takes this team by storm in July. It's a true quarterback competition, and this is not good news for Anthony Richardson, no matter how you look at it.
Anthony Richardson missing reps, obviously not great. He needs reps. That's what he's needed his entire career, because he didn't play that much in high school and college. His upside, obviously immense. Injuries have kept him off the field. Other things have taken him off the field as well, including being tired. I mean, there is a lot to learn for Anthony Richardson at the quarterback position. legitimately, on the field and off the field. We knew that, though, whenever he got drafted. I have been frustrated in the past by the way some things have gone because I'm at every single game, so I watch. I see what the sideline is. I see what's happening in between the huddles. I see what's happening in between the plays. I know who's talking to who. I know how things go because we're literally on the field. So I have a little bit of a different perspective. I also care deeply about the Indianapolis Colts. I think that was pretty evident over the last few weeks how much a lot of people care about the Indianapolis Colts and that Irsay family as a whole. So whenever we're seeing it kind of get mismanaged or mistreated or seemingly getting taken from or being let down, it's like there's a lot of people that are bummed out about the way some of the operations had gone from the quarterback position with Anthony Richardson, but then you automatically get reset and saying, like, he was so young. This was a part of the process. This was a part of the process. And I had changed my mind that I was going to be openly supportive of Anthony Richardson because that would be the best thing for Anthony Richardson. And the best thing for Anthony Richardson would be the best thing for the Indianapolis Colts because of his upside. But if he re-injured the same shoulder that he got surgery on, you have to wonder then, did the surgery not take? Is there some setback in rehab? Is there a reason it didn't work? Like, there's so many questions now because all these reps matter to the development of Anthony Richardson, which is the only thing that we can kind of hang our hat on is that Anthony Richardson is going to develop. So then you immediately turn like, well, is Daniel Jones going to be the guy? I got a chance to see him. He's huge.
Yep, it might be.
He is gigantic.
Big boy.
He's also young. You know, I think you were only paying him $10 million this year or whatever the case is. He still is like 28, I think, or something like that. You can play He can play another 10 years if he...
Yeah, and I'll say something about this. You look at what Kevin O'Connell and those guys did last year with Sam Darnold. Do you know who joined that team midseason and put a really good bunch of practices on paper? So good that the Vikings were pursuing Daniel Jones to resign as a backup quarterback, knowing that there was a chance they would not be able to resign him because there would be a demand. There was a market for Daniel Jones. The Vikings, the Colts, and I know a couple other teams were all very interested in Daniel Jones. So this isn't some guy on his last stop. I think the Giants situation went as it went. He got paid, didn't live up to the contract, got hurt. And then I think last year, taking that half year of the humble pie of what happened in New York and then signing in Minnesota and being in that room for a little bit, learning from O'Connell, and then being courted as a free agent. Like, this is a new lease on life for Daniel Jones. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a lot of maturity that goes into that. I'm not sure if Anthony Richardson has been through all of that yet as an NFL player.
Yeah, and there's a chance Anthony Richardson, and once again, I'm hoping it is just soreness that they're over cautious about, and he's back by training camp and we can have an actual quarterback competition. Because once again, Anthony Richardson's upside is, I mean, you're talking fadeaway 72-yard
Texans
throw. I mean, that's first game of the season. I mean, and him running, his speed, everything that he has. Now, Daniel Jones, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Daniel Jones runs hard. Daniel Jones is fast. Daniel Jones over on rush yards every single game is basically a lock.
Yep.
Because even the odds makers look at Daniel Jones and they go, 2% ain't going to be able to run over 17 yards. Yep. And then he gets into open field. And if a line doesn't trip him, which sometimes yard lines have got him before.
Happens.
He's wide ass. I mean, he is a threat on the ground, and let alone he is big. Boom, boom, boom. And Shane
That's a tough run.
Yes, that's a tough run. He's huge. And in Shane Steichen's offense, like, your quarterback being able to run is a massive, that's almost a bigger deal than the throws. And if Daniel Jones obviously gotten better, maybe our offense will be able to go. And if Anthony Richardson is out, I will be eager to see what they do at the quarterback position and if they bring or try to bring anybody in. Okay, let's talk about some moves that were made over the last 24 hours or so. The Green Bay Packers now all of a sudden thin, very thin at a position. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Shriggs, what ultimately happened with the Jair Alexander situation? Obviously, we've talked to you a little bit. You had dinner with Matt LaFleur the night before we saw you in Green Bay, and it sounded like after this whole thing started and he was going to be gone, then it was like, no, he's coming back. He's going to be a Packer. Obviously, he got released yesterday. They cleared up quite a bit of cap space. But what are you hearing about this situation, and where are some potential landing spots for Jair Alexander? Because I've already heard Minnesota, and boy, would that fucking suck.
First, let me raise my hand there. It wasn't erroneous reporting. However, I was wrong. I thought they would figure it out based on my conversations, not only with LaFleur, with people on both sides, and knowing that it was just a money issue. Let's figure out the money issue. At the end of the day, Jair Alexander didn't want to take a pay cut, and the Packers thought it was fair after 2 years of him only playing so many games that we talk about a contract restructure. And to his credit, Jair Alexander said, $17 million is not top of the market. When I'm on the field, I am worth that, and I am not taking a pay cut based on injury that I have unfortunately been able to deal with the last couple of years and play through in a lot of ways. So he's going to bet on himself. And the Packers, they said, well, we're not betting on that. We don't think you are available for us. And they have 3 young corners who they really like. That said, they're in minicamp right now, and I'm seeing Bo Melton, a receiver out of Rutgers, being played at cornerback because they're so thin right now. There you go, you have it. Because Micah Robinson and Taylor King are out. You don't want to see that either. That said, I wasn't wrong when I said things were trending the right way. What I was wrong was that I was assuming that they would figure things out. To Jair Alexander's credit, you don't want to take a pay cut. I think I'm worth that. And let's see if he can make more elsewhere, because the Packers are going to eat a huge amount of his salary cap regardless with dead space.
I do wonder if it was the holdup on the C.
Yeah. Could have been. Makes sense.
We want to be captain. The game was in Charlotte. Shouldn't you know better, LaFleur?
Yeah, it's his home. I just don't think LaFleur knew it was Mahomes.
I mean, you can't be having Bo Melton.
What are you talking about?
It's the Green Bay Packers.
Let's get the guy we drafted in the 6th round to play receiver and just toss him out there. And, hey, maybe he'll be our starting cornerback next year. What are we doing?
What are you talking about? Travis Hunter? That's all the rage right now.
Yeah, he's a generational talent. He's not
Bo Melton.
He's not a 6th round receiver out of Rutgers, for Christ's sake. You kidding me? Go get Jalen Ramsey. Stop fucking around with this shit. Bo Melton is going to play cornerback for the Green Bay Packers next year? I don't think so.
You don't know. This is one rep.
He's had a couple. I mean, look at the way. Well, never mind.
I thought Ty was all good after the Matthew Golden draft pick. Sure. I thought we put this to bed. We said Mad Mel was gone. We found Happy Mel. We found Happy Ty. But here we're reverting back to our old selves here. It's June, dude.
Yeah, it is. We got a lot of time to find corners.
Yeah, you're right, because there's a bunch of good ones.
Stefan's out there. Gilmore's out there.
Yeah. Gilmore.
Xavier.
Ramsey makes sense.
Jair Alexander's out there.
He is.
Bo Melton's out there.
No, we already got Bo Melton.
No, he might be available, though. He's a 6th round pick. There's no promise.
Yeah, you're right.
There's no promise. He might be out there. And, the Colts, Lou Anarumo might need to look at some Bo Melton tape. And also, other teams might need to start looking at the 5th, 6th wide receiver and be like, how's your drop?
It works.
How's your drop? Hey, let's get you a. Rob Domofsky has posted a great rep of Bo Melton.
Boom. That is a good break.
Okay.
That's a pick 6.
Yes, he just cut off. Yeah.
I mean, Richard Sherman started as a wide.
Tall, lanky. Bo put those paws on. He's from Rutgers, too. Rutgers.
Tough, physical, hard-nosed.
All right, let's talk about some players that are at camp that I think are a little bit of a surprise. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, my ears perked up when you mentioned James Cook earlier and you talked about his agent being in the Shamar Stewart conversation. It was a little surprising that he was reporting today. Maybe it's because he has not made as much money yet as all the other players who are not reporting. Was this surprising to you? And do you think this will be like a potential hold-in situation, or do you think something eventually gets done with James Cook before the final year of his contract?
I'll tell you, I'm pleasantly surprised. I feel like James Cook and his representatives have been quite vocal about their desire for a new deal, and judging by the way things were going, I didn't expect him to show his face, but he's there, and I respect it. Whether he's doing 20 drills or not. The fact that he's there, I think, has a lot to do with that he wants to be a Buffalo Bill. But we've talked about this. The numbers, they did not make sense to Brandon Beane when we were talking about it at the Combine. They did not make sense to Brandon Beane when we were talking about it after they re-upped all those other guys to new extensions. They're not going to give him Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley money. They're just not. I don't see that happening. It's just not what they're budgeting for. That said, I think they would love to have James Cook, who is maybe their best offensive player outside of Josh Allen, on the field. So let's see if they can figure it out. But a good sign, even if it's just an olive branch, that, hey, I'm going to be there and present as now one of the veteran leaders of this offense. But he is grossly underpaid now. But for what numbers that we were hearing tossed around, those didn't really, add up with reality for what they were looking to spend on running back.
New OC up there, Mr. Brady, loves James Cook.
Yes.
Absolutely loves James Cook. I think James Cook loves where NFL football is headed as well. Obviously, you saw the Saquon Barkley-led Philadelphia Eagles go win the Super Bowl, then Saquon get broken off. I think James Cook loves everything about that. If James puts up another great year, and I know this sucks, especially at the running back position with how many hits you have to take and how dangerous it is, if he doesn't get a deal done now, he puts up another massive year, there's going to be big market for James Cook. I mean, obviously, I'm speaking something that is very obvious, but that is probably what I assume Beane is saying to James Cook. I assume James Cook's agent has also said, hey, unless we really hold out, which we don't want to do, there is big money around the corner for a James Cook in this current NFL. It's just like hopefully he gets that money sooner than later because I love watching him play football.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love him on that team, too. I think he fits that team. And he was so good in that AFC championship game. He had that run on fourth down. It's one of the best runs you'll ever see where he extends over the goal line. And it's like he belongs in, but this is the one. I think it's the most maybe this and Julio's catch in the Super Bowl are like the most underrated plays in NFL history of just athleticism. Just sheer amazing balance from him. And no other player can do that right now. That is James Cook. He's that good. So let's get this done. Let's keep him in the Bills uniform. But at the number that they were asking for, I don't think it was even close.
Yeah, well, what was the number they were asking for?
I don't know, but from what I remember hearing from people in Buffalo at the Combine, it was like out of hand how they were even talking about it. So hopefully we can figure it out and make a number that's more reasonable and in line with what the running back position makes. That said, if the Eagles are paying Saquon and the Ravens are paying Henry and they're that age, why not pay James?
Yeah, and if that's how you're winning games, I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. Another conversation about paying people, and I don't want to go back to it. Sheriff Seeley's got no shot with that college sports commission.
No chance.
Have you thought about that anymore, AJ?
Yeah, no chance. I mean, yeah, he's going to get sued from 5,000 different players.
How do you say no to a deal? Like, how do you say that isn't in a proper marketing?
If someone offers you this amount of money for these terms, like, then how can you say, hey, no, that's not in line with what he is worth?
Believe me, our deals that have not been properly represented publicly have been said to be way overpriced. Little do people know the number is you would think even more so, I think, for some of the deals that I've negotiated. But who says that that's not the proper number, especially because we've already earned that money back for said companies that we already know about. But if the deals that I was negotiating with companies had to be presented to some other dipshit who's never done a deal, or that's the only amount of money that they were able to negotiate, or they weren't able to think of ideas to regain that amount of money for the company that you're negotiating with, how is that even anywhere near an acceptable process? Yes. I don't know.
Anti-American.
Yeah,
it is.
Do schools control it? Could they do it that way?
The schools control the salary cap, which is going to be like $14.5 million. These are all the NIL deals that have to get approved by a committee that makes it in the fair market range. It's like, who says what the range is? Myles Garrett got $40 million. Softball girl.
Yeah, Nigel Kennedy.
Kennedy she got $1 million. So what's the going rate? 50,000, 100,000? I don't know what it is. Maybe 25,000, even less than that.
Seriously.
Then
was that Cooper Flag number real? I thought that was a little bit inflated. Would they say? I don't even know who reported it.
They said 28. I think there was I think there was a lot of maybe like 5-year deals that were potentially
like his Converse deal or whatever his shoe deal was. I think in that number.
But that might have been a 3-year deal too. Yeah. That might have been just but whatever the case, still a lot of money. But the softball girl. Niger.
And she delivered. She was awesome for them.
Yeah, but when they present that to a committee and they say, hey, they want to pay him $1 million or pay her $1 million, well, everybody else is making $150,000, $200,000 at tie-in. It's like, who says that $1 million isn't enough? But we all just agreed she was definitely worth it.
Yeah, Rodgers Natty.
I never heard of Texas Tech softball until this weekend, and I'm watching because of her. And you got Mahomes in the stands, like cheering, like she was that dominant. It was worth every penny.
Bingo. But whenever they would have pitched that number, which I think they were, other schools were saying, we're not paying that. No way. No. That committee would have said, no way will we do that. It's like, I don't know how. I genuinely don't know what the answer is. I don't want to be just the person saying, like, hey, this ain't going to be good. But because I don't have any answers, so I'm part of the problem, not a part of the solution, so I apologize for that. But it's like they're going to have to figure out how that works because I don't know how you say no to a company wanting to pay a human amount of money.
Sheriff Seeley, he'll figure it out.
Yeah, he'll crack down.
He's going to have to.
Sheriff will get it done.
I appreciate this man saying I'll take on the task.
Yeah.
But this
better him than me.
Hey, man, Trent. And that was happening with Saban. Remember, people were pushing Saban's name out there. Saban's about to do it. And I was talking to people, not Coach Saban himself, because I didn't want to put him in a spot to give me an answer. Then I would have to say, I talked to him. But people directly around him were like, we're signing Coach Saban up for that at 70. We're signing him up to fix all of college. That's a deep job. Good luck, Seeley.
We're good.
I still don't know how you turn down any offer I don't know how that's going to happen. So legally, that seems impossible. But if we were to make a bet, it would be on what Schrager's brain says. Wouldn't that be the case?
Without a doubt.
With the draft, and also I think he picked the Super Bowls for a while. And then also he seemingly understands the cultures in different buildings and where they're at. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Schrags, last year in the preseason, you said, hey, don't be surprised if the Washington Commanders go on a hell of a run. And it turns out they end up going to the NFC Championship. Do you have a read on your favorite kind of dark horse team out of nowhere this year? Loved what you said on Get Up this morning about the Chargers. They're still in the Chiefs division, so who cares? But who do you think is one of those teams that kind of rises from the ashes this year and revitalizes their entire team?
Yeah, look, I said last year everywhere before the season that they would have a Houston Texans-like turnaround. I didn't think they would go to the NFC Championship game. And the Commanders, what they did was they just said, let's rip it all down and build it all up. Now, that started with a head coach, an offensive coordinator, a new GM, and then they got a new quarterback. The closest thing that you're going to find to that right now is the Chicago Bears, in that they have all new coaching staff, all these new players, a new offensive line, and they have a quarterback in Caleb Williams who it seems is all there, but I have to see and learn a little bit more and see how this Ben Johnson, Caleb thing goes before I jump in. On paper, they're the team that did it. On paper, they're the team that gave their quarterback everything. On paper, they're the team that rebuilt the whole franchise in a matter of an offseason, and that's what I always look for. That's what D'Amico did with C.J. Stroud, and they got Will Anderson right after. So it's all there, but I'm not sold on Caleb yet. I got to see training camp because Ben Johnson's offense, and I've known Ben for a long time, he's a cerebral guy in that, he and Goff had to put a lot of time into that where everything was timing based. Everything is you count to 3 here, you look there. And everything that Caleb Williams has been up to this point has been freestyle, off schedule, willy-nilly, freelance. Let me use my athleticism. Can you combine the two and get that Mahomes-Andy Reid marriage where it's here's the play, and I know you've got all the athleticism, but if we could put this together and you could just trust me on timing, we can make this work, well then, yeah, the Bears will be that team. I have to see it first before I make that prediction. But on paper, the Bears are your Texans from 2 years ago and your Commanders from a year ago.
That baby Zeke. Zeke celebrating back there. The big fist bumps from Zito, raising the roof, raising the roof. Where are you guys going to play football at? We shall see.
We don't know.
Jared Goff, like the epitome of a robot quarterback, but he did it perfectly.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Everything that he is great at, Ben Johnson used and made perfect. And Ben said, I think, I've never had a quarterback with the ability that Caleb has as well to kind of add in the off-script stuff. I can't wait to watch them, too. And they invested in the offensive line. They seemingly invested in everything that's good, too, Shregs. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to jump in. It's some of the stuff that used to drive Kyle Shanahan nuts with Garoppolo is that it's hey, just throw to point A, point B, and Jimmy would have to do something crafty in the pocket and try to make something more of it. And that would enrage Kyle Shanahan. Then he gets Brock Purdy, and it's Brock Purdy, throw here, and Brock Purdy throws there. He's like a robot sometimes with what Kyle wanted. That's going to be Ben Johnson with Caleb. Can Caleb play within that framework of don't go off script, don't do what you think is necessary for the extra bigger play? Just trust me and we'll get there. I don't know.
But extend the play when it is available.
That's also why he was hands down the number 1 pick, because of that ability. And even Brock Purdy, he's a guy that can play within the system, but he's also a guy when it breaks down can scramble for 16 and break your back. So all the things they did in the offseason right there were straight, especially Loveland too. Going up and getting Loveland, pairing him up with Komet. Rome's going into a big second year. DJ Moore coming off a career year. So, all the pieces are there for Chicago.
Quarterback's got to be the hardest. It's so impossible.
Yeah.
Just
and look at who they drafted 2nd and 3rd overall. You got Jaden and Drake May just breathing on him. And that's the same city that Trubisky was taken before Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. So, they've been down this road. I think there's a lot of believers in Caleb. Ben Johnson would not have taken that job. He could have gone to any of these jobs. He would not have taken that job if he didn't want to be with Caleb Williams. I just personally, and I'm not hating, I just need to see it first. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it sounds like anytime you say I'm not hating on him,
you're hating on
him. Sounds like there's a little bit of that. And with Caleb, I think he understands that the NFL world because in college he's obviously spectacular. Comes in at Oklahoma. I think he came in the Red River rivalry game and took that thing over there chanting his name. I remember that was a moment in college football that year. Then obviously he goes out to USC with Lincoln Riley, becomes the spectacle showcase that he is, comes undoubtedly the number 1 overall pick. He even had people saying, like, are you going to be the team that passes on Caleb Williams? Like, that's how Caleb Williams was being talked about coming out of college. In the NFL, goes to Chicago. It goes how it goes. He's already on his 3rd offensive coordinator, I think.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
3rd offensive coordinator.
And then the story.
Waldron, Thomas Brown, and now we've got this. And
that's
you've got obviously.
That's a lot of shit to go from, like, the God to, like, okay, now you got to, like, humble yourself in the middle of this entire thing.
And Pat, they didn't even meet with Jaden Daniels. They didn't even meet with Drake May. This was handed to him in a way that is very unorthodox in the draft, where it's like, you're the guy. You don't need to take another pro day with anybody. You don't need to visit anybody. You're our guy. So there's a lot that goes.
There's a lot going on with this guy. It's a big city. It's a big city, big fan base, big market, big franchise. Hasn't been great for a long time. They've invested a lot. Ben Johnson has been great. The expectation is Ben Johnson's going to be good. Will the quarterback be good? And
I like that. I like that version of him. That fired up. I want to see that.
Yeah, a little fire, a little panache. He has a lot of pizzazz, and the pizzazz with the fire pizzazz.
Yeah, the cool bear claw.
Yeah, remember those days?
Oh, yeah.
Those were fun days.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while.
That was like the pre-Jets season started with Aaron Rodgers days.
Yeah.
Do you remember how much fun those days were?
Oh, my God. Hard knocks, yeah.
I jumped all in. I dove in. I was like, oh, my gosh. He took Solomon Thomas to a Broadway play. I'm in.
That one drive he had against the Niners in week 1. Where they just walked down the field.
So good.
How are you as a swimmer? Shreg's pretty good swimmer or no?
Pretty good. Yeah, I could swim. I could do a little medley. Let's go.
Oh, really?
All 4.
You got them all.
I could butterfly. I'll butterfly that ass. Let me go. Let's do
We need you to get on some juice, and we need to get you in these.
Enhanced
We need you to butterfly that ass in the enhanced game. Imagine Shreg's on all the juice. Showing up to that thing. Oh my God!
Mountain.
Is this the butterfly?
Yeah, over the top.
That's the butterfly.
Yeah.
This is the breast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Backstroke.
And then just forward is freestyle.
And then we're
a little elementary side stroke too, if you want. You just gotta do this.
Okay. You're a Navy SEAL.
That's it. Take me to Paris Island. Let's go.
Shregs, I'll tell you, I don't know if you want to go down Paris Island. But
take your boy, man.
I don't think I would last a second in Paris Island.
That place was incredible. That place was absolutely incredible.
Dude, I commend you. Hats off to you so much for even going. I mean, that had to be a life-changing experience. I did Fort Bragg a couple years back with Fox, and it's still to this day one of the coolest experiences of my life.
I went on a USO tour over to Japan. Went to a bunch of different bases over there. Obviously, here in Indiana, there's a couple different bases. I've done a lot of stuff with the military. Very thankful to get to know a lot of people that have been in the military and all that. First time ever at a boot camp, So that's my first time kind of witnessing it. Thank God they're still around.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. I thought
yes, sir.
I said this yesterday, and I don't want to reiterate it too much, but I thought that wasn't around anymore. I thought there wasn't any of that. We're going to be okay. We're going to be A-okay.
I think Shregs can make it. I mean, I would love to see Grok put Shregs on those yellow footprints right next to you.
Come on, Grok. Do you?
Grok, make sure you understand make his footprints extra yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Make those things extra.
Don't let him pee his pants. Do not have a pee stain on his pants.
Or poop. They thought about calling them brown prints, but obviously the pants kind of keep those in. AJ has a question for you, Shregs.
Shregs, with Aaron Rodgers signing in Pittsburgh, what are your expectations for this Steelers team this year? Obviously, it feels like it's a little. I guess Steelers fans might be, I don't know, like not getting too far, not putting the cart before the horse, whatever you want to call it. They seem to, they kind of rein it in. But what do you expect out of this team?
Yeah, I have two big thoughts on this that I'd love to share with you guys. The first thing is this misnomer that Rodgers wouldn't fit in Pittsburgh because he's this crunchy granola Northern California guy. I've known Aaron a long time. When it comes to football, and AJ, you know this, there is no one more dialed in. And furthermore, who are the coaches he's really connected the most with? Mike McCarthy, Western Pennsylvania. Tom Clements, Western Pennsylvania. Alex Van Pelt, Western Pennsylvania. Frank Signetti. Like, we can go down the Ben McAdoo. All these guys are Western PA guys, and they've hit it off with Rodgers in a real way. So I think he will fit that city and will fit that culture. I also like the fact they're not asking him to be the savior. Now, of course, you got to be the quarterback, number one of the Pittsburgh Steelers. All eyes are on you. That's all going to come with it. But, like, it's not the Jet situation where it's like it's all on his shoulders and he's going out to, dinner at Carbone in New York City with Sauce Gardner, who's 21 years younger than him. Like, it's not there's Cam Hayward, there's TJ Watt, hopefully, there's DK Metcalf. There are guys there, and there's Mike Tomlin. So I think for 1 year, $10 million with incentives, like, this is a no-brainer. And all the stuff that we were moaning and groaning about in the media the past 3 months, trust me, Arthur Smith was building an offense for Aaron Rodgers, whether he knew he was coming or not. It's not like they got caught with their pants around their ankles saying, oh, wait a second, he's signing? Let's go build an offense. Like, they've had time to build this thing. It's just an install now. And, hey, don't worry about all the other nonsense. We got football, and you've got 1 year. Let's make the most of it. I like it.
Yeah, we like it as well. And I think most Pittsburgh Steelers fans have come around on the fact that this is a much better option than anything else they had at this particular point. And there's also a chance at the end of the season last year, Aaron Rodgers' Achilles, out of the Achilles factory, was just getting healthy for the first time. And he was moving, throwing. The Jets offense looked like how everybody had fantasized that Jets offense would look 2 years prior to that for like 4 games. Way too little, way too late for that Jets run. But if you carry that into the Pittsburgh Steelers with some of the guys that are still available,
I mean, they are loaded at every single spot on the defense. So hopefully the defense carries them while the offense and Aaron, kind of learn each other, and they can run the football, which we know Artie wants to do. They added some running backs this offseason as well as DK Metcalf. So I think things are high right now in Steelers town. Oh, look at
those first 4 weeks though. Like, I could see 4.
By the way, Stregs, the fact that you didn't tell Orlovsky to fuck off the other day when he said, he said maybe the Browns in the first 6 weeks. No, as far as the schedule goes, it sets up really nicely early for them to get.
Well, I love Dan, and Dan is a guy that I would like consider. You want to talk about someone you love doing TV with. Dan's great on TV, and he's fun to banter with. He was saying like, there's no way in hell they could beat. He wouldn't say hell. He's a religious man. There's no way in HE double hockey sticks that you could see that the Steelers could beat the Ravens in the. And I'm like, I just watched the Commanders play in an NFC Championship game. Like, I just saw it with my own 2 eyes. It could happen. It's not crazy.
He said
the NFL. I saw the Jaguars play in an AFC Championship game in Foxborough and come one Stephon Gilmore play away from going to the Super Bowl. Like, I've seen it. It's crazy. That's the NFL.
Yeah, agreed. And the Pittsburgh Steelers win games. And the Pittsburgh Steelers know the Baltimore Ravens pretty good. Those games are always going to be one-score games. I mean, there's some stat about stats or about some spreads over 4.5 or 5.5 in between the Steelers and the Ravens game.
Like even 3.
I think it was 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5. I guess anything over 3.5, you take the points in the Ravens Steelers. That's how those games go. So yes,
playoffs. Playoffs, they got the crap kicked out of them.
Well,
that was
they ran for 700 yards, but we got that figured out. There's only been one losing quarterback under Mike Tomlin. Who is that, Tregs?
Mitchell Trubisky. What's up, Mitch?
Can't believe you couldn't think of that today. He said it was Duck. He was
Doc Hodges took him to the playoffs.
He did.
Yeah. Quack.
Quack, quack.
Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack. Oh, Ducks in it. That's what they were saying.
Bingo.
When Doc Hodges was the quarterback. And now he's living his best life.
Yeah.
Wonderful life. I mean, his wife is a superstar in country music, and Duck Hodges is doing his thing.
Whoa. Are they married?
Is that not right?
Or at least
engaged. I thought they were engaged. So I didn't think they were married. Unless
Sorry.
No, Shrakes.
No, I don't have anything on that.
You, Shrakes.
I like my Sirius Highway 56. I like listening to that, but I don't know anything about the gossip. I got nothing else.
Duck's out there calling ducks still. I do know that.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, he'll remind everybody. You remember? The name Duck is because I'm a world champion duck caller.
Yeah.
Quack,
World
quack.
champion?
Yeah.
World champion.
Oh, yeah.
Best duck caller in the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing.
Like 2 times.
Yeah.
Dude, those ducks have no chance.
familiar
They
with your
think
game.
he is an actual fucking duck down there. They're flying around and he's down there just working his quack, 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 calling that. These ducks up there are like, holy shit,
It's
that's
so confusing.
10. That's tight. They go down there. They think it's not. It's Duck with a shotgun. Pow, pow, pow. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, falling.
We're familiar.
It's duck football.
Duck football. Then he put him in a football game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he just finds a way to win.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Sunday night against the Chargers. I remember it well. In LA or in San Diego, and Duck Hodges lit him up.
Legend.
That's Duck Hodges football.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's doing real estate or insurance, but whatever he's doing, if he's selling it, we're buying it.
Hell yeah.
Quack, quack, buddy. You done good? As have you, Schrager, you Emmy Award-winning handsome lad who's a good swimmer. Yeah. We'll swim our way into the digital-only version of this particular program. We'll be back tomorrow. Be your friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life as Schrager's phone falls. What is that?
That's that weird AI thing. I got like the update on it where like it follows you. There you go. It's doing it again. I don't know. I got to turn it off.
That's a PTZ. That's Foxy in the back on my side.
Okay. All right.
Yours is like tracks you, right? That's an iPad?
I know. Yeah, it's something. I don't know. The government's following me. I have no idea what's going on.
You have no idea.
It's been there all day, Karen. Yeah.
Oh, it's the Mentalist got me today, and now my iPad is following me from all angles.
We have that. We have that ready.
I saw the beginning of your show. I don't know. That's crazy, man. I was with the people online, like enough with the O's a little bit, and then I got it. And it happened to me, and I'm changed forever. It was incredible.
Shregs, we're the exact same way. We saw him on TV. He was getting a lot of hype. Schefter's like, hey, I'm kind of his manager or whatever. Like, oh, great. Now this guy's getting force fed.
I didn't know that.
Into every single team. I think he's a friend/manager or something along those lines.
Okay.
So then he's at every single team. He's putting out clips with everybody. We're like, we get it, dude. We get it. Then you experience it for the first time. Was that your first time live around O's?
Yes. First time ever meeting him. He was on Rogan this week. I happened to listen to him for 3 hours. I'm like, I've got my fill of my cup. And then he did this to me in person, and I'm like, I'm absolutely blown away. This man is very, very impressive.
Did he fuck with you a little bit off camera too? Because that's when he really gets you to understand that this is the real deal. Like we told this story earlier about what he did to Darius, what he did to me. I think there was some stuff off air with AJ that happened as well, just kind of off the cuff. Hey, how you doing? Let me let you know that I fucking know everything you're thinking right now, really quickly. And then
that was the weird part. I'm good. I don't need to do any like pre-show stuff with O's. And then they were like, go chat with O's. I'm like, all right. So I'm chatting with him, and he's just chatting, but we're not talking about any of the stuff he brought on to the show. And then we were doing small talk about me, and I'm like, all right. Then we get out there, and he's like, think of an NBA superstar, which is a very vague term. It could be anything. And I'm like, all right. And for whatever reason, I'm like, I'm going to go Draymond Green, which might not even be considered. I mean, in today's climate, there's 10 other players. And we can talk about who, but like that might not be one of the guys. And he's like, write down the name of any NBA superstar. And I wrote down Draymond Green, and he's like, you're thinking of Draymond Green. I'm like, what the? It was crazy.
It makes no sense. And that little off convo that he's having with you, I think he's trying to figure out if he can crack India. And then as soon as he finds out, he's got no time for you. All right, let's get him the fuck out of here. Yep. Let me just make sure this isn't the same thing as me. Hey, talk to me. What's your favorite? Yeah, I got it. Okay, thank you. You can fucking leave now. You can go ahead and get out.
That's how it was. He didn't want to, he weren't looking to get coffee. No, that was quick.
Yeah, he just wanted to find out if he can crack your skull or not. That's all he wanted to know.
And he did.
He had to plant Draymond Green because he spelled out get up, so he had to know.
Yeah, that was the crazy. Isn't that how it all kind of comes together too? It's wild.
Fucking guy.
I mean, if you were to ask, any of you guys to name an NBA superstar, any of you thinking of Draymond Green off the top of your head? No.
I was thinking Bob Cousy.
Smart.
Bob Cousy.
Yeah. If he said NBA GOAT, maybe.
Could you imagine if you drop a Cousy reference? There's been a couple times where he's asked me a question, and I hadn't been paying attention close enough because I was still trying to figure out what the fuck he just did. So then he asked me a question, and I'm like, oh, I was not paying attention. Were there any precursors on what I'm supposed to think? Because that's a piece of information you do need. Like, what am I supposed to think of here? Because what if I'm thinking of something that isn't even in a category? Then I clearly am ruining the entire gimmick. That's happened to me 3 times now with him. Because I'm thinking about the previous thing that he did. Then he asked me, I'm like, oh, fuck, I thought we were done. No, you need more from me.
What was Belichick? I mean, I remember watching it in real time, but like off camera, what was Belichick's reaction to that guy?
I think he said "man" a couple times.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he was calling
Sean Payton. He wasn't
calling Sean Payton during the whole thing.
Hey, he just predicted first 8. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
He's good.
Sean Payton.
I got Sean Payton on the phone.
It was the thing. All right, Shregs, what should we be paying attention to that we're not paying attention to right now? You think? Whole world.
I'm curious to see how this Jets thing goes this offseason. They tore it all down and everyone's flying high, but there's some questions here in New York as to whether or not this young coaching staff and the young GM and the young quarterback, it's all going to come together. There's no expectations with the Jets, so they might be a little sleeper team as well.
Oh, you like them as a dark horse?
They'll probably stink.
Yeah. All right.
Sleeper as in like no one's talking about them whatsoever and the spotlight's off, and let's see how these young guys play. Look, the fact that Sauce and Garrett Wilson showed up today with their contract situations up in the air, I like that also.
Yeah, me too. I like Aaron Glenn.
Yeah, no one's talking about the New York City teams.
Ha!
No one does that.
It's never a conversation. Speaking of, how are you enjoying the finals? Are you watching the finals? They said lowest game 2 since 2000.
It's his fault. He's not watching.
Yeah, it's all because you.
I have been watching. I'm telling you, I thought game 1 was one of the greatest finals games. That was the coolest thing. And I said to everyone I was with, and I was with a group of people, I'm like, I will never count this team out when they're down 9 with 7 minutes left. And they did it again.
Yep.
They're a special team, but this Thunder team, when they get it going, it's like a locomotive, so you just got to stop them from getting it going.
Here's game 1.
I've really enjoyed this matchup. I think it's good.
Tyrese Halliburton game right there. 0.3 seconds left on the clock. How you doing? Keep it moving. John Halliburton in the building. No selling the entire thing. Think there's a chance if he was courtside, we would have seen a little bit of something out of Pops. Hopefully he's back for game 3. Nonetheless, Tyrese Halliburton has made a lot of big shots. Game 2 didn't make anything until fourth quarter whenever he really turned it up. But even then, you talk about never counting us out. We were down like 15 with like 2 minutes left, 3 minutes left. I was like, wait a minute. Can we make a run at this thing? And then we subbed everybody out. And it was like,
time of death.
Yep.
Time of death.
Same.
3 minutes left.
New York Knicks fans now are freaking out over who the next coach is going to be and whether it's Kevin Durant. And that's the life of a Knicks fan every offseason. It's what's next. We turn the page. But to me, let's enjoy Isaiah Joe taking on Obi Toppin for 4 more days.
Okay.
Amen.
Who is going to be the coach over there? Jason Kidd, I heard, right?
So they're saying.
That's what Wendy was saying. And I don't know. Is that Red Auerbach? I don't know. I mean, everyone's freaking like, Jason Kidd is like,
what?
Sure. Yeah, okay. Fine. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm with you on that. I don't know. Is Jason Kidd suddenly going to be the one that gets us over the top?
Yeah, he gets Cooper Flag and Anthony Davis and Kyrie and
running away for. I don't know. The Mavericks going to let him out?
Go to New York.
Yeah. Why would he leave? And then let's talk about Malone. Wouldn't Malone be the guy?
Yeah.
You think
Malone might be the guy because his dad, Brendan Malone, was a long-time assistant in New York, and he's got all these awards. But like, if you think Tibbs runs guys hard and is tough on playing young players and getting, that's Mike Malone's whole rap. I don't know if we need to go down that road again.
Who did Stephen A. Smith say? Mark Jackson?
He did bring up Mark Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Is he still?
I'm a New York City guy. I don't know if that's happening. I like the guy in Houston, Ime Udoka, but it sounds like they're not going to ever let him out for anything. To me, that's who I would be.
Why would he
targeting.
do that again?
Houston, young, loaded.
Yeah, they got money.
Don't you want to be in New York with all the bright lights in the New York City? Like, that's the whole thing.
Yeah,
the coach
is
to the conference final.
Yeah, bingo.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to get fired.
Yeah, just let Rick Brunson run the show.
He already is.
Yeah.
Just make it official. And they're talking about getting Kevin Durant. They don't have any picks. They got to trade multiple guys then if they want them.
They'd have to trade Cat, which I'm not sure. Although I'll say this, Durant, I like Durant. Durant's a killer on offense, and if any snap of a finger, he could score 21 points in the fourth. Like, I wouldn't be so opposed to it. I know a lot of my Knicks fans are like running for the hills from Kevin Durant because 37 years old and isn't exactly a defensive stalwart anymore. But to me, you're never out of a game with Kevin Durant, especially if he's got a chip on his shoulder. I would take Durant.
Just get another lanky wing player.
What are you talking about? Another? You're calling Kevin Durant just another?
No, he's not Mikal Bridges. He's a little different.
They got Bridges. They got OG. They just went to the conference finals, and they're like, hey, we got to blow up this team. If we don't blow this team up, we'll never get back here. It's like every year. We talked about this with the Pacers.
I'm not happy for Timothy Chalamet, Ben Stiller, Spike Lee, Pete Schrags,
Miles Teller,
John Mellencamp, all the Knicks fans about like how exciting of a run you guys had. And then,
exactly.
We're thinking we're doing it again next year. It's hard to just rebuild, I think.
Oh, yeah.
It's easier to do it again next year when you do what the Pacers did. And you just keep everybody.
Continuity?
And you trust it.
Yeah, let's work together and do that.
Here's the fear. It's like, we've seen it. Like, Steve Kerr was an upgrade from Mark Jackson and was what they needed. Phil Jackson was an upgrade from Doug Collins in that situation, was what they needed. So we've seen it happen. But, like, if you don't have that guy in your back pocket, that's a pretty rash decision to make. I assume that those other teams had that in play, and there was like, so I'm just gonna let go of the wheel and see how it ends up before I judge.
I trust Jalen Brunson on the court. If he's playing, I think you're in it. I think that's how Knicks fans should feel. This SGA guy.
Real.
I'm watching him
good.
a lot. He's 6'6", AJ.
Young.
I know.
Legit.
He's a
Every angle
how do you stop
off the
him? Like, how do you
backboard.
stop him?
It's unbelievable.
I have no idea how you stop it. And then I appreciate people. Now, granted, I did not watch enough of the Oklahoma City Thunder this year.
Sure.
Okay, hand up on me. The narrative was this guy just gets to the foul line. So I thought we were going to watch James Harden at Houston basketball.
Yeah,
like I thought it was just going to be like that type of stuff. It's not.
No.
It's a completely.
Yes.
He is a play. This dude is a beast.
Stud.
They call him a foul artist. It's like he will expose you if you are close enough for him to steal one off of you.
Sure.
He will certainly do that. But he's creating his own shot. He's shaking. He's taking it to. I mean, he is. It's not like a floppy thing. It's like he will certainly play the game and get a foul on you. I understand that. And some people think that's a little shady, especially whenever you somehow have more foul shots than our team every single time. How does that work out that way? But it's like he's a talent. This dude's unbelievable.
Yeah, you go down a list of great scorers. They all got to the foul line. That's a part of it, putting the defenders in bad situations. When you have elite scorers like that, there's always going to be the haters, just like when it's like great quarterbacks, when it's Brady or Manning or whoever, pocket quarterbacks. Oh, man, when they get hit, they get all the flags, they get all this. Yeah, they're great, and when they don't, they're going to tear you apart. So that's what SGA does. And what he's been able to do on the biggest stages, winning the MVP, getting to a level he's never been to and his team has never been to, and every time these lights are bright, he shows up. Like, that's impressive. I'm sure his line is what tonight to score? Probably 30.
It's always 30 at least.
Yeah, like
that's what Carlisle said.
That's crazy.
30 every time.
It was 34 and a half. Yeah,
that's nuts.
Yeah, Rick Carlisle said you can put 34 on the score sheet for SGA already before the game even starts.
Yeah, he has. I think they did it on Get Up. He has 83 games now with 25 plus points this season.
Crazy.
Yeah,
83.
He's even money to score 35 plus.
And I watch college hoops. Like, he wasn't that guy at Kentucky. I don't know when this happened. Like, he was good. He was fine, but he wasn't that guy.
It'd be cool to be 6'6", and then just have it snap that you're supposed to just take over games.
Work ethic.
Yeah, has to.
Brunson, too. He was a dog at Villanova, obviously, but you put in the work and you become like a great. You only do that by putting that work in, and he's obviously done that.
And his mentor was Chris Paul. When Chris Paul came over to OKC, he was supposed to. I think their over/under for wins was like 20, and they ended up winning 45 games, going to the playoffs, being the 4 seed when Chris Paul was at the 1, and he's kind of the guy that took SGA under his wing.
Hey, Chris Paul, good on our program.
Yeah.
Great on your program. Live in the rain from Carolina. I loved it.
He talked shit, too.
Back-to-back years.
Where's he going to play, Shregs, next year?
Yeah, what are you hearing?
Sounded like on your show that he wants to be a Clipper. It sounded like it. And that's how he wants to end it, but I don't know how that all works out. I can't.
It doesn't. That's how.
Why? What are you talking about? It's Chris Paul.
They got James Harden and stuff. Chris Paul needs to come to Boston.
You want him to be as far away from his family as possible.
He needs to bring his family there, too. Oh, I don't know. What's the best school in the country? Harvard. You want to be close to that?
Harvard.
Over.
Harvard.
Oh, you're a big Harvard
guy.
You
go to Harvard for kindergarten.
You're not a big Harvard guy, man.
You're a big Harvard guy.
I said Harvard because it's more mainstream. I'm an MIT guy.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm a technology guy. So I don't know what you guys are talking about, but also Cambridge. I don't know. One of the most up-and-coming areas. Not up-and-coming. One of the most expensive areas in the world to live in.
Uppity,
That's why if not as uppity as you'd think, but that's why if Chris Paul were to come over, I think it should be a match made in heaven.
Oh, that's awesome. We caught you. All right. Hey, Shregs, I appreciate the hell out of you, man.
Guys, congrats on all the cool stuff with the CONCAFA stuff, too. I was following all of it.
Man.
Shregs.
You were so close, bro.
CONCAFA.
Almost a perfect time.
Come on. I watched. I was supportive. You got to give me something.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's
Cary, North Carolina. My passport hasn't been there, but I will be if you ever invite me. I will get in goal. I'll put some goalie for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Learn the name.
Yeah.
Count it. CONCAFA has Stoner stood on his head.
He was the best. He was the best.
One goal the whole tournament was the last game.
Stoner was unbelievable.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
I guess Stoner also plays. Stoner's our goalie from last year. He carried out. Yeah. He stopped one with his face this year. Actually, just ate one with his face. I guess he plays striker too on some club teams.
What the hell? Why wasn't Stoner in then?
Yeah, so I guess his feet are good as well. And then Phil E was obviously joined our team, former MASL goalie of the year
Sure.
Yeah. Do they allow 5-hole goals in MASL competition?
Did you see how did you see how the tournament ended last night, Strikes?
No, I didn't. I did not see this. Is this the highlight?
This is for $1 million right here. Bang, bend it around a guy. Golazo.
Oh, what a shot.
Yeah, I like the smoke that they had.
Yeah, that's cool.
And the devastation.
If old buddy used his hand to stop that, would it continue the game or does it go count? How's it work?
Good question. Is that a penalty kick?
In the box. Yeah, in the box.
In the box,
PK or what?
he would have been good. Did he have a penny on? Let me see if-
No. The guy running on the field has a penny.
Yeah, the guy who was designated the goalie had a penny on right there. He was holding it in blue. He actually was the one that turned the ball over before this on the other side. They tried to sub him out to sub new goalie in. So that guy right next to him is subbing in for the other goalie. Terrible substitution by Pumas. But this was a bobble. This was a botch by their bench. This was a substitution error. Is how they lost $1 million. They could have taken a shot earlier too. There might have been a time to maybe
maybe like have one, maybe a good opportunity, maybe have one here. Let's have one. But
there's a couple of those where they could have.
Yeah, they could have had one. They could have maybe really went out there and had one. I mean, that's in this tournament. You have to have one.
Yeah, especially if the ball comes over and it's a perfect situation too.
To have one, you have that ball, tied around, your left boot. Maybe a good opportunity to have one, especially 77 for Pumas.
Big boots.
Fat Tony.
Yeah, Fat Tony.
That was not his name.
That is his name. That's what he's called. He's the legend of the game.
He had
They
like
call him
11
Fat
names.
Tony.
It was awesome.
Waffle body.
I can't believe he didn't let it rip, dude.
He could have had one.
He could have had one. I cannot
believe
believe he did not win the golden boot of the tournament. I need to talk with someone from TST and also Pumas de Alabama. Their skipper, their gaffer, is the coach of the tournament, and he does the biggest fucking gaff of the whole tournament. And they lose. So let's go.
It was a substitution error, Gumpy. We all watch. While we were watching it live, I see other goalie running off field. Illegal substitution as well. Just so we know, the other goalie was not fully off the field in the substitution error as the new goalie was being subbed on. So, I mean, it was it's chaos.
The longer you play in this tournament, you realize that the ref in the middle actually does nothing at all as well. I learned that when I asked, what does that guy do when Nani threw a punch at Breck Shea? They said, he's just there to monitor subs, not actually help or,
You're talking about on the sideline.
Yeah, in the middle there. He just stands there. He's great.
They also rule if it's inner bounds or out of bounds on the near sideline. I think I've seen a couple of those calls made. Gumpy hates the refs at the TST.
I love that.
And I don't know if I love that.
Great
Whoa, why'd they throw that
trophy?
I don't know.
So everyone can get a piece of the trophy.
Oh.
Like everybody at the tournament, all the kids?
All the team. The kids. I saw a bunch of players on the team. They were all picking it up and like celebrating with their piece.
Oh, okay.
Like cutting the net.
I don't love that.
I mean, what are you supposed to do with that thing in one piece anyways?
I would have had that thing on a flight home with me.
We'll figure out when we win it next year.
Yeah, we're going to hang that thing in the Thunderdome right from the middle. It's going to be like a disco ball.
You guys need to smash it with a sledgehammer.
I can't wait to see the team next year. Grella out. Let's bring in.
Come on.
Let's bring in Big Tony. Who else?
Tony Miola?
Who else do we
Big
like?
Tony Miola is
Are
already
you trying
on.
to do the GM of the year's job?
I would never. Look, I'm not built for it, man.
There's one man that we need.
You see down there at the bottom, Shregs?
Who's it say?
General manager of the tournament,
Hell yeah.
Mike Foss.
Oh, Mike Foss. How about that?
We have CONCAFA has 2 representatives. Shout out to Big Ruggles. Congratulations.
Yep, boy Ruggs.
A couple big-time goals. Also, I think he had 2 or 3 yellow cards. I think he had 3. They only documented 2, so he could have got another one because if you get 3 yellow cards, you got to sit out the next game. So he definitely had 3 yellow cards, but they only kept track of 2. So he got a bonus yellow, and he was certainly trying to exercise that right.
Sure.
He is he is the gift of the gap, and he said he gets people very upset, very, very. He was actually walking one guy right off the field to fight him. And then as that guy was walking off the field, boom, we slide in right behind the guy, score a goal. I mean, it was like his mental game in mental gymnastics. He's a chess player out there.
Yeah.
Loves
His
it.
dreads does not like when his dreads are pulled.
They got a red card. I was super happy for him because he played on Nani's team last year, and they never invited him back. So when we knocked them out, he was super juiced.
Yeah, he didn't have a team.
Yeah.
We got lucky. That's Porch, who's an absolute dog. There's me celebrating alongside First Sergeant Pat Harlan, who gave the boys a motivational speech before the game. It was great to see him. Porch was unbelievable.
Yes, he's filthy.
I don't know how he didn't make the team as well. Porch ran a lot around people.
Zeppelin.
This was a great tournament. It was a great time. We were lucky to be there.
I can't stress enough how much better this style of soccer is than normal soccer. It's about 10,000 times better.
Always a walk-off. Always a walk-off. Game has to end with somebody scoring a goal.
No ties.
Black boots.
Yeah, Black Boots came back this year, and there's a gorilla assist, by the way.
Nice pass.
Oh, yeah. Who was that against? Was that the first game or the second game where you guys won 7-0?
No, this is Soccer Roof.
Yeah, that was round of 32.
Didn't Grella assist the Breck Shea goal, too?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. The real good assist. It went off the goalie. Let's not act
Gotta
like
put it
Grella.
in the mixer, brother.
Let's not act like Grella fed him on his boots, okay? he basically shot a little rinky-dink shot, and then Breck Shea, being the superhero that he is, came in and cleaned it up.
Hey, Big Meat, thank you for your service to CONCAFA this year.
Yo.
The boys are buzzing. All right, we appreciate you, Shregs. Maybe next year you are a mascot or a goalie.
Yeah.
I'm in.
What's the name of the team?
CONCAFA.
Okay.
CONCAFA. CONCAFA. All right, we appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. Peter Schrager.
Hi, guys.
AJ, I don't know if you saw it. Phil Steele did a little ranking of the Big 12. Did you see it?
I actually did not see
He feels still?
Yeah, Phil Steele, the guy that's been doing college football since.
Still doing it?
Yeah, exactly.
Still
he doesn't know shit. Hey, Phil.
One of the most respected names out there.
Oh, boy.
He is one of the most respected names out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's when he's putting a list together like this and it's crop, shite. You got to call it out. Hey, Phil, don't lose the fastball, bub. Now is not the time. You're dotting Rich Rodriguez.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Did Neil Brown come in dead last to the Big 12?
No.
I'm sure he did.
No.
I'm assuming.
How many times?
Some point, yeah.
2 or 3?
No,
Yeah.
he did.
Not every year, but
Color me shocked. I wouldn't.
Good question.
Yeah.
But that was a layup,
I
yes.
don't think he ever did.
Okay. My apologies.
More specifically, last year he did not.
Okay.
So Rich Rod's going to get there and we're going to get worse, is what Phil Steele thinks?
No chance.
Come on. It is a little interesting, though, that we went and checked the betting odds of the Big 12. Turns out West Virginia's ranked 12th in those out of 16 teams. You think Big 12, there's only 12 teams? No, there's 16 of them, and we're ranked 16th in Phil Steele's eye. Don't love that, but I want the Mountaineer boys to understand, Phil Steele thinks you're shit. Expectations are nothing. We know the work you're putting in, though.
Yeah.
Good luck out there.
How about Jaheim White just shouting out his teammates for all their hard work?
Offensive line. Jaheim White's a beast, by the way, running back. Oh, we're going to run the ball. Yeah. Jaheim White's going to matter. Yeah. 16th in the fucking Big 12? What's Phil still doing? He's hanging out with that Chef Chang.
I was going to say, he and Jeff Chang been pounding around together.
Don't put fucking Phil Steele and Chef Chang in the same conversation.
Yeah, they're hanging out.
Nah.
They're brainstorming together. They're thinking of the same dumb list together. Phil Steele and Chef Chang out there just tag teaming to make people miserable with their wrong ideas and opinions.
I do hate that he couldn't just land on one top team. Got 3 ones up there. Didn't love that.
I didn't even know.
Make a decision. Stick by it.
I didn't even know that.
See, Phil Steele has lost his fastball. 2, 3, 4th places?
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't know.
That doesn't work.
And also, do we know if Phil Steele actually did this, or would this guy just tweet this?
I assume he'll be doing it for
Great
another 40
question,
years.
actually.
Magazine comes out soon. So I'm
Whatever
not
the
sure.
case, West Virginia, you need to know there's somebody saying you guys are dead last. Get to work, boys. Get to work, boys.
What year is Jaheim White?
I think he's his last year.
Okay. Because he's transferring or because he's a senior?
I think he's senior, junior, senior.
So you got to hold on to him.
What? Yeah, well,
Hold on for dear life because I thought your best player went to Ohio State, right?
that was another one. CJ?
Well,
Yeah.
Portal was closed, right?
Yes, but also that was CJ Donaldson.
Yeah.
CJ Donaldson, very good player. Very, very good player. Very good running back. Obviously, went to Ohio State. He's a very good player. I will say Jaheim White, though.
Good player.
Good player.
Dog.
They had a split backfield, you know? Those are 2 ponies back there running. Jaheim White, good player.
Got some big boys up front.
I think Jaheim White, if he was to hit the transfer portal, I think he would have got a big.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he would have got a big. But he didn't. He said, I want to do the work.
That hard edge.
Yeah, he's
I
got
want that hard edge. Yeah. I do appreciate those that stuck around. Now, I think there was a large group of people that we, and by we, I'm talking about the West Virginia football team going forward, wanted out of there.
Always.
Like, hey, pretty evident you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Cut.
You're a little slow. Don't you kind of see how everything here is fast? Everything we're doing, speed-based. You're slow. Everything we're doing here, toughness. You're soft. Everything we're doing here, football. You're a content creator. So There's a lot of that going on.
Mm-hmm. Good.
There's a lot of that going on, from my understanding. I don't know if there was a lot of content creators, but everything else I said, I think was happening behind the scenes, trying to get the culture in there. You know, we got to get our guys in there. But those who stay will be great.
They're not going to finish 16th.
No, and if you finish 11th, it's a massive success.
We're not going to finish fucking 11th.
I'm just saying.
Okay, I don't know what we're talking about.
Over under for them.
2.5,
5.5.
Checks out Phil Steele, Big 12 conference. Really hard to read, but you see 16 there, and then what? West Virginia.
5.5 is the.
In 23, Neil Brown, West Virginia were motivated by being picked last in a Big 12 media poll. The Mountaineers rode a powerful run game and strong defense to a 9-4 record, including a 30-10 bowl blowout. Last year, they rated a shell of, what does that say?
-3.5.
And did not,
SMI?
-3.5, and did get to 6-5 before a blowout loss to Texas Tech, and Browns let go. Rich Rod returns and does have
14
returning starters. When Rich Rod was at Jack State, I picked them last in the conference. Okay.
Oh, he might.
And they went 9-4. So I am wary of picking them here, but it seems like a third of the team was not even in yet by the summer. So that's a lot of movement. Phil Steele hates Rich Rodriguez.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Okay, he doesn't believe in the hard edge.
Fair.
Hey, Phil Steele. Okay. We appreciate your transparency there, but you gave it away. We just read it. Go ahead.
Did you see his running back rankings? Down there, bottom right. Number 1 running back in the Big 12.
Jaheim White.
Yeah,
okay, so Rich Rodriguez's offense is a running offense.
He did it again. Number 1 in Baylor, number 1 in Kansas State, number 1 Iowa State.
Yeah, but what he also has is West Virginia having the 15th best line. So if we have a great running back, but we got to see him up front.
You got to remember, Rich Rod's offensive lines. We're moving, brother. We're moving.
Might take some time to get his people in there, though.
We're moving, though.
It didn't take time in Jacksonville State.
It took a couple years.
I mean, they went 9-4. That's pretty good last year. Like honestly.
Who?
West Virginia. They were 9-4 last year. Is that real?
23.
No.
My bad. Okay, because I was saying Neil Brown gets fired after 9-4. I don't think so.
Well, last year was 6-5 and then blown out at the end there.
The Penn State loss just really
set the tone for how everybody was going to judge West Virginia.
That was the weather's fault.
And then
they almost made the national championship, though.
We're on pace before the season started.
Mm-hmm. The hay was in the barn when we were there, and that water bottle fell down, and he almost had a heart attack. That was kind of when you knew.
It's on me. That one was on me.
Yeah, but think about when we were there for that the day before Penn State. Think about the energy that was on that campus.
It was incredible.
So much.
It was awesome.
It's ain't students' fault.
I have no idea how many people were there. I don't even want to put a number on it, but that place was fucking packed out, ready for football, ready for the football season. And then Penn State, there's a weather delay, and that kind of offset everything because we were prepared for one particular game. New game came. It was a lot longer. How are we supposed to deal with this, even though we got a nicer locker room and nicer everything? We didn't deal with that well, and then it just kind of carried in the rest
Because they
of
were
the year.
making TikToks and playing video games. Today's got me so fucking juiced for football.
So juiced.
A lot of football today. Drake May said he's bummed football's ending. Connor, I know you saw the clip. Drake May was asked about, mandatory minicamp coming to a close and the offseason workout schedule ending. This is what he had to say.
Good. I think I'm starting to kind of, really kind of find a stride. I'm kind of bummed out we're about to leave, but no, it's fun. Anytime we're going against a great defense, they got good players, 2 great corners. I tell Gonzo every day I'm gonna test them. I'm not gonna not throw at them or CD. Two of the, I think the best corners and one of the best duos in the league. What an opportunity for us to go out there every day and throw against those guys.
He was just finding a groove, and now it's over. Is he gonna be able to find it again when the season starts, or is it gonna be too late?
He was not just finding a groove, and now it's over. He now has McDaniel's new offense locked in. He also was one of those guys that has to completely restart this year, but he's not scared. Stephon Diggs comes in. He's giving kids pop rocks and enjoying his time, kind of showing everybody.
I don't think they were kids.
They were calling him daddy. And his locker is
valid
right next to Drake May, which is really cool. Got that, established number 1 wide receiver. Got that O-line. I don't want to put the cart before the horse here, but we got a white boy from Eastern Washington who plays wide receiver. His name's Efton Chisholm. Holy fuck. This guy is the
Chisholm's
one.
got the pizzazz.
Chiz is what,
chizzazz.
Yeah, he's got the chiz ass. And Chiz allegedly has led basically all receivers in catches over this time. So yeah, look, Drake May went fucking 11-14 2 days ago, 16-18 yesterday. Today he probably went fucking 20-20. So if I'm you guys, all I'm thinking is, God, I hope the Patriots aren't that surprise team that comes all the way back this year. Because if it is, I'm probably fired by week 3. Because I'm going to be
all the way back.
I'm going to be the worst to be around. If you thought I was bad in the suite when the Celtics were playing the Pacers last year, just wait to see what happens if the Patriots start off 6-0.
Could you imagine you as a Patriots fan having that high of the high, greatest dynasty of all time, and then down we're rebuilding, and then you build it back faster than like the Colts?
Oh, yeah.
Or like any of the other. You would be so arrogant.
It would be.
We did what you guys have had tried to do for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
We were able to do it 2 years.
Took us 2 years.
What's so hard?
Oh, we had to bring back with Mike Vrabel? Are you kidding me? You guys bring back Jeff Saturday. That almost worked. We bring back Mike Vrabel. Holy fuck, we're already going back to the AFC.
This hasn't happened yet. You're running your mouth a little bit.
It hasn't happened yet, but I think everybody in here knows there's a real chance it happens. Now, I'm not there yet just because new offense.
Yeah, you are.
Drake
Yeah, you are. You're there.
Hey, we're all kind of there, which is the fear. Like, because we all believe in Vrabes, I think, right?
Yep.
We all believe in Vrabes.
For sure. 100%.
So it's just like, yeah, I assume the Patriots are going to win games again. And we just have to be prepared for that as a society, that the massholes are going to be just that again. And they're going to have a reason to be loud.
The silver lining of last year was Drake May, and now it feels as though the only question of this year is Drake May. So if we can just put ourselves back when we saw that big son of a bitch throw that touchdown pass to Kayshon Boutte down the sideline against the Texans, I think we can all be there like, oh, yeah, they might win 12 games.
Anthony Richardson had a 72-yard ball to Pittman, I believe, or Alec Pierce.
But that's the thing.
We should put ourselves there. How about the fourth quarter drive against the Patriots? 2-minute drill.
How about Danny Dimes' playoff victory where he went for 350 and 100 rushing?
Who was that against, the Vikings?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm there right now, brother.
In Minnesota.
I do remember that.
He went for 350.
How about Jordan Love?
We'll see. I mean, we got fucking Bo Melton as CB1 right now, so that's a kind of that's a little more pressing concern than Jordan Love's gonna be just fine. We got a fucking 6th-round receiver, trying to lock down Justin Jefferson. That's a bit of an area of concern.
I thought you had belief in the entire outfit.
I do. I mean, fucking give him Hell Halfley. He'll get the boys in line, but
oh yeah.
Oh.
But I mean, what do we do? This ain't fucking Pop Warner. This ain't high school.
It's a bad
football.
ball.
It's a bad ball. It's one
Good
rep.
break.
Go to the other rep. Go to
Good break.
Go to Rob Domofsky. I think he's covering him.
Could he play corner with number 80 on? Would they let him?
Yeah.
Troy Brown did it.
Oh yeah, you can do whatever you want
right.
now. I guess there's no rules on numbers anymore for
That's
positions.
wild.
I feel like.
This is a good one. Break.
Oh,
Didn't come directly
Beautiful.
back to the ball, but he was
that's
seeing.
pick 6.
Yeah,
Evading the defender, you can't see there's a guy right there, makes a miss, and then takes it back
Glad
to
you
the
guys
house.
are all having a bunch of fun. Did you guys see that edit of Aaron Rodgers?
What are you
See
talking-
the edit of Aaron Rodgers Steelers put out?
You're talking about the video we've run here a couple times?
Oh, have we? I haven't noticed.
Oh yeah.
I've ran it a lot.
Yeah, it's probably 4 or 5. This one?
At least.
How about when he spins the ball at the number 8? It's going boom.
Tell you what, when those boys over there at the graphics department over there at the Steelers get 3 or 4 months and know a guy's coming, they will put together some fire.
Come up.
How about the darts on the dartboard?
Yeah,
Wait till the
that's
ball turns into signed. Where is it?
And it's
right here.
Boom.
Agreed to terms.
Wow.
You actually said
Agreed
earlier
when that was on. Yeah, I had a moment too when I said it. I'm like, God damn, that ball says what I just said right there.
That was cool.
I thought it was greed. I was like, are they saying he's?
You greedy bastard. What
Look
are
at
they?
this guy.
It's opposite.
Oh!
He's gonna be doing a lot of that.
And you guys got a 4-time MVP at quarterback? I didn't think so.
We do. Patriots do, Tony.
Oh.
Just check back in
10 years. Yeah, Danny Dimes. We don't know what's in store for Danny
Greatness,
Dimes.
I think.
He's gonna be comeback player of the year this year, and he might win it.
No, remember that's not the thing.
Oh yeah, they changed the rules.
But are the
Oh,
Finns,
yeah,
are the
you're
Finns
right.
even at doing training camp this year?
You guys playing football, or all I've heard is just people potentially leaving?
We are. John Smith isn't there. And Mike, I actually like Mike Bedane. I think Schrags might have mentioned it earlier, or I think Schrags mentioned it. I liked his answer when he was asked about John New and Jalen Ramsey. But yeah, they're there. They'll compete and won't win a playoff game, and to be extend our believe 26-year streak now. So yeah, kind of bummed out about that, but
Since a playoff win?
Yeah, we can't
Yeah,
ask Butch
playoff win.
about teams though,
'Cause he's an
he
Eagles
doesn't
fan.
give a
Take a
fuck.
while.
Yeah, about the Dolphins.
What?
Well, he does.
He only gives a
I had a
fuck.
Dolphins lid on yesterday.
cool.
Yeah,
It was a
which
cool
is
hat.
interesting.
I care.
For a Panthers game.
Gumpy cares about the Dolphins.
He
Gumpy,
does.
how do you
Gumpy's
feel?
super positive towards them always.
Yeah, you want to know why I care so much about CONCAFA? Because of this fucking football team. That's the closest I was going to get to winning something. That's why I was losing my mind.
Yeah, I'm happy Gump showed up.
Yeah, Gumpy was bummed out about the CONCAFA loss, and I appreciate that type of passion and emotion. He wasn't the only one. Faso, bummed out. Talked to Jeff Cameron, bummed out. Meat sent me a message, bummed out.
Gordo Gerson hasn't stopped boozing since.
We don't know. Gordo is an impressive.
Gordo had a very good tournament. He was a workhorse.
Yeah, he's a wagon.
Yeah.
Gordo is a wagon. Ledesma sent me a message.
Oh, I love Ledesma.
He's so good.
Yeah,
he is good. Great addition.
He said, "I'm so sorry that I did not play more for you."
Ledesma.
Did you say, "Damn right, son, get back in the gym"?
No.
I had one leg, dude.
I said, Ledesma,
He scored several goals.
He was so good.
Yeah.
His boy, too, was one of the coolest kids I've been around. He's got a 12-year-old, I think, that was hanging around the team. Benjamin? Benny? I don't want to get the name wrong. I apologize. He was hanging out with us the entire time. He was cool. Ledesma should be in the MLS.
I guess he played 1 year with Cincinnati, and now he just runs a bunch of academies.
Porch Meat, all those guys. We have so many good soccer players.
Yeah, Black Boots was beside himself.
Mario, playing upside down.
Waterbug.
Where they're about
Pacheco.
to play now? Like Porch, where's he? Does he?
He plays in the Arena League.
It's crazy that fucking
League.
guy isn't in the MLS.
So
With
I
how
get-
fast and quick he is, it's fucking crazy.
How about just watching that tournament? How many good players there are? It's like, so none of these guys are.
Makes you think how
We lose?
Well, we don't.
how good are the MLS?
Yeah, we don't have
good
our
point.
eyes
I have
on.
no
like
idea.
golfing, I guess, right?
Yeah, exactly. We go out there and play with a scratch golf. You're like, this guy on tour.
I don't know. I watch a lot of MLS. I'm telling you, there's room for Chad Porch on that field.
Okay.
I mean,
And what about Ledesma?
Yeah, legit. I don't know why Ledesma only played 1 year. I think Porch basically, he had a tryout right before COVID, and he got hurt, and then he never got a chance to go back after COVID with MLS.
So good. I mean, there's like so much talent. Our team has so much talent. Every team that makes it has so much talent. And you watch me, like, there has to be a reason, like, what happened here? And we're lucky for it, though. I'm fucking thankful. Because if they're in the MLS, they wouldn't be allowed to play.
True.
It's like a pro contract at the highest level. You're not allowed to be there, right? That's why, like, Arena League guys
Arena League's fine, yeah.
are allowed to be in there because it's not considered the tier one.
That was his first. He won Rookie of the Year in the Arena League. It was his first year. Him and Pacheco were on Baltimore.
Pacheco.
Waterbug.
Yeah, Waterbug's a fucking junkyard dog. Did Grella reach out and say sorry? Or
He sent me a message.
yeah, is he bummed at all? Or
He is bummed.
My cash hasn't checked. Is that what he said to you?
Check out the cash. Yeah,
But
I don't fucking know.
But
It's a joke, damn it.
you nailed it. But no, Grella was bummed out. Everybody was bummed out.
Yeah.
Gumsh did say that Grella jumped in the car with his kids right after the game and drove back to New Jersey. So I think he's had a. I mean, I can't imagine that fucking.
They all wanted to win.
Grella didn't give a fuck. I could see it in his eyes.
What?
I could see it in his eyes.
You weren't there, but 2 days.
We were there on Thursday before the most important time. And I could tell just from the look on him.
No, you were taking a shot at different people. You remember? Grella's the third person on your list you've taken shots
No,
at.
I said sorry to Breck earlier, and then it's just been Grella. Grella's
talked about the outlaw a
are
little bit.
dragging
You
between.
did talk-
Outlaw
What?
should deserve that.
Talk about the outlaw a bit.
No, I did not. Look, I think the outlaw can look himself in the mirror and say, how the fuck am I leaving this place scoreless? Okay? I assume the Indianapolis Outlaw knows he underperformed, and that's why the outlaw is probably working right now. Grella doesn't give a fuck, man.
Grella was in better shape than he was last year, for sure.
So, I mean,
Lost 20 pounds.
that didn't show me anything. If anything, we needed him a little more beefy.
Let's go to away from soccer. Let's get back to football. Ashley Washburn is reporting from Brian Gutekunst. It's just something we're going to take a look at and see if it's a possibility. He's talking about Bo Melton.
Nice.
So don't lose your mind. They're just seeing there's no stone left unturned.
I get it. I mean, it's just one of those things where you kind of have a knee-jerk reaction. Say, what the fuck is that guy doing out there playing defense? You know, that guy.
For the Green Bay Packers.
Exactly. You know, I mean, went to the playoffs last year thinking, hey, this might be the year they take another.
Have one.
Yeah, maybe have one. Now's the time to maybe have one, maybe think about having one. But instead, we got Bo Melton out there playing defense. I'm not going to overreact yet, but I'll tell you what, if they... If they go into the season, and if I see this again in 2 weeks, I'm going to be beside myself.
Luckily for you, not till training camp, so you got a couple weeks you can just rest.
Yeah, it won't happen in a few weeks.
No, yeah, you're right.
There'll be nothing to see. We'll show you the video the next couple weeks.
Yeah. Yep.
We'll let you know this was happening in June. Training camp's right around the corner.
Well, I get it, too, because Bo Melton had about 40 drops last year on offense, so maybe we should move him to defense and see what he can do over there.
Well, he did have a drop on defense.
I know, that's okay. You're not, I mean, a pick isn't, an expectation.
That's a PBU
every time.
there.
Exactly.
After these mandatory mini camps, I feel like you've told the story before. Everyone is just smoking tires out of here for 6 weeks until training camp.
Yeah, I think
except Drake Man.
You guys shortened the weekend, right?
I think so because I thought we started kind of early.
But coaches will do that if there's high attendance for the voluntary ones. Like we were, for instance, at the Colts. I think we were like 99% attendance for the voluntary. There was one player that was not there. Pretty important piece, was paid a lot of money. He showed up at mandatory minicamp. He was injured. Okay, so basically we had already done everything throughout the entire voluntary. So Chuck cut off a day in the end because the only reason why mandatory really mattered was because this one player who was going to be a starter, who was paid a lot of money, who showed up at the weight of a different position, not fat, more muscle actually, and was injured, was not able. Bingo. Was not able to do the mandatory minicamp. So it was like we already got all our work in. So like I saw some people talk about the Patriots shortening mandatory minicamp and being like, I saw some people talking shit on it. It's like, no, that means they've already got all the work in.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's not a bad. That means that's like a faster practice is a good thing. A faster practice means they've got through everything right as opposed to having restart. It's like the longer practices are bad. The longer camps, not saying that a full mandatory mini camp is bad, and there's some people that probably have 100% attendance that would do a full camp, but I think more often than not, a lot of the shit's already done. The mandatory is just like, if the guys aren't there, they're like forced to kind of be there. But if everybody's already there, cutting short is like not a problem at all.
It's awesome.
So you'd almost want your team to be at a point where they cut it short. Like, we know our shit. Let's go ahead and get one more extra day of break here before training camp because it's going to be a long haul for us. And as soon as everybody's getting out of that parking lot, I mean, there is.
It's an important stretch,
Coaches too.
Yep. I always get that speech. Don't be that guy. Between this stretch, you got 4, 5, 6 weeks off. You don't want to be in the news for anything. Obviously, you want to show back up to training camp in shape. You don't want to show up to training camp and get a soft tissue injury, 1-2 days in the camp, and it just throws your whole season off. So this is a critical point in time, too.
Yeah. Yeah, don't get arrested.
Yeah, that too.
Okay, I did that.
There will be plenty. There will be plenty.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people want to change the way the NFL calendar is. It's like, hey, don't we think we shouldn't have 6 weeks before the most important? A lot of people want to move it to later and lead right into training camp. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I mean, but we're adults. Like, come on now. Like, we're adults. So we got to be able to treat them like an adult.
You're hearing guys that want to have summer.
Yes.
Yeah. Coaches need that time. You don't need to. I don't need to extend the season by 6 weeks by doing that.
Yeah, that's exactly that was being pitched. Remember, because during COVID, that's how it kind of went. 3 weeks or 4 weeks into the season, and everybody's bodies said they felt better and all that shit.
Yeah, because once you show up,
be a pro. Be a pro. That's all it is. You should technically you should be able to handle a little bit of time off when you should work out on your own and then not kill somebody.
Stephon Diggs met with reporters for the first time since the boat video, says Phil A. Perry. What was in the bag? Obviously, it's a conversation that's happening internal. He says, I can't have too much conversation about it.
Boom. He gets it.
There's a conversation happening inside of me right now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Can't talk to you too much about it.
Nope. He's just back in Maryland with his girlfriend.
He was also doing some sort of camp, I believe.
Yeah, bingo. Yeah, at Maryland.
He was doing a football camp. Okay, so that's where he was back in Maryland. I did not know that. And then he runs on a field, and he's just so fast.
He's unbelievable. Wait till you see Afton Chisholm, though. This fucking guy, man. I'm not even kidding.
You're saying Chizaz is the one.
I'm saying there's a real shot here. We got an Edelman, a Cooper Kupp, a diamond in the rough, if you will.
There seems to be a couple similarities between those comparisons.
Yeah, he also has a lot of Wes Welker in him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's some of that, too.
I would have never guessed him.
Yeah.
What about like Golden Tate? Like a slot like Golden Tate, maybe?
Here he is. Oh.
The coach had decent coverage, though.
Cheers.
Coach had great coverage on him.
That coach in his hip pocket.
What school do you go to again?
Eastern Washington.
Ewu.
Okay.
Woo. That's what they do.
And then Chizaz comes in and breaks him up.
Mm-hmm.
He does like the Jabberwockies.
Yeah, bingo.
Thing. Yeah.
I know,
we saw him in the Super Bowl.
Exactly what you're saying.
All right, Chizaz, good luck out there. He's a rookie?
Yeah, undrafted free agent. So we're going to have to put on our boots, if you will.
Yeah,
and
sure.
really go to work here.
It may be.
Maybe think about having one.
And then if you don't at this exact time, maybe in the future you.
Yeah, you could maybe have one a little later.
At some point.
But at some point, you're going to want to have one.
How did 77 not have one?
I still don't know. Jose Antonio Medina Alvarez, whatever the fuck his name is, something in that ballpark. He needed to have one. He needed to have a few more.
Something in that ballpark.
Tito's full name?
Big Boots.
They were calling him Fat Tony earlier,
Fat
which
Tony.
they do call him, I believe. I don't know if he accepts that name, but I know they were calling him that around the tournament. He's so good. You look at him, he's not supposed to be that good.
No.
He's kind of short, definitely round. Soccer, want to be able to run a lot. He is very flexible. He's special. That whole team was filled. I guess they play in tournaments around the world. They go play in tournaments and win them. They weren't able to beat Bumpy Pitch.
I mean, nobody will.
Where are they from?
They won the women's and the men's.
The Bumpy Pitch did?
No, U.S.
U.S. women's national team won.
Oh, okay.
Carly Lloyd.
Nice.
Hey, Carly Lloyd. I don't know. I was watching the highlights. I was following. She was in the same hotel we were in. Every time I walked by her, I said, "Legend, very nice to meet you." She was with her family each time. Legend, very good to see you. Legend, very good to see you. Because what she did with the U.S. women's national team, like, real deal.
Oh, yeah.
I forget how many years she was on the women's national team. She played forever, basically. And she still got it. I think she had like 4 goals in the TST.
I think she had one in the championship game.
She did, yeah.
An
Hope
absolute
Solo.
strike.
Hope Solo's team, Solo FC. She made the all TST team. Hope Solo did. I guess she caused the penalty kick and then saved the penalty kick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Classic Hope Solo football.
Exactly.
Legend.
That tournament was great.
It was.
Really was.
Long, man.
Very long.
But it has to be, I think, for survival.
Oh, yeah.
Because at the end there, your legs.
Yeah.
They do it as quick as possible.
Exactly. Like, I think those elimination rounds have to be that way or nobody will make it to the final.
Or the games would just suck and be not entertaining at all.
Yeah, or whatever team's in best shape will win.
Yeah.
Which still,
Yeah, kind of holds true.
which is kind of the NBA. And I don't think that gets talked about enough. Teams that are in the best shape in the NBA win. I don't think that is chatted about nearly enough whenever it comes to roster construction or team building. The reason why the Pacers have been so damn good, obviously they got a lot of talent. They're in the best shape. Oklahoma City, you watch them, same exact thing. SGA looks like it's game 41 right now. They're like 100 games into the season. This has been a long ass season for these guys. It's a lot of running too. And I'm not saying those haven't done it in the past, but it's like watching the New York Knicks team slowly die while they were playing against the Pacers, which is clearly what happened. Even in the games, fourth quarters, the Pacers come back in the fourth quarter. The Pacers come back in the fourth quarter. It's because of how good a shape they're in. It's because that's like a part of the strategy. Like, let's keep it close until the fourth, and then we should be able to wear on them. It's like the OKC team has they have the same mindset. So maybe when you're thinking about your NBA team, you should say, are they in good shape or not? And maybe that's why Nico down there in Dallas was like,
enough is enough.
That's why Reddick's saying that. Reddick's saying they need to be in championship shape.
I saw Luka squatting 1,000 pounds.
I love the video. Just post the video.
We got some video of Aaron Rodgers taking some dropbacks as a Pittsburgh Steeler. Secco?
T-shirt or is that a jersey?
Jersey.
I think it's a jersey. I think he's wearing a jersey.
Nimble.
Look how nimble. Yes, nimble is the right word.
They got yellow sleeves. He's wearing a
what is
T-shirt
that?
underneath the jersey. Classic Aaron Rodgers.
Man.
He looks good.
Oh.
Set up.
See that?
Oh, look at the handoff. It's like he's been there all voluntary OTAs.
Oh, jeez. Back up. Don't step on the foot of those running backs.
Did you see Will Howard?
Hey, get back. Go to the handoff there where he does the
Carry out the fake. Still.
Watch
pause.
Oh, no.
Hey, get back.
Jeez.
Jeez Louise. What are the other other quarterbacks obviously aren't carrying that all the way out.
Mickey Mouse.
They just think they're comfortable in that
Those
spot.
aren't the quarterback. Quarterbacks are studying Aaron's.
No, that's the running backs. Yeah, get the fuck out of the way. Jeez Louise.
Well, Aaron's going first, obviously.
What is that?
Oh, my gosh.
What's the number?
Rolling ankle there. Carrying
Out to
out.
lunch. That's his number.
Well, we got another championship this weekend.
Hey, good luck to the Steelers. Looks like he's A-okay, by the way. Aaron looks like the voluntary OTAs maybe weren't important. What were you saying? Another
Final Bosses League.
What's going on?
Oh, you guys weren't aware?
No,
UFL?
UFL
No,
championship.
Okay, there we go. UFL championship. DC
Boy.
Defenders.
I didn't even think about
Come
the
on.
rock there. That's on me. Sorry, Dwayne. The UFL has their championship?
You knew that.
Yes, I did.
Huge
You can
match.
watch it this weekend on
Fox.
on
Fox.
on Saturday.
Saturday.
Watch these going. What day are you
Maybe
going?
Sunday.
Sunday.
I'm gonna make it a whole weekend.
D-Butch, will you cover it for us? Thank you.
Cool.
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground. Darius J. Butler will be down at the UFL Championship, where the Defenders will take on
The Michigan Panthers.
the Michigan Panthers. Obviously very good because they had a kicker last year that was making 60-plus yarders.
Jake Bates.
This year they said, we're not just a kicker. No, we're a team.
They have Puka's brother.
And don't even get into the beer snakes with the DC Defenders.
Yeah.
They play good football.
Yeah.
They will be playing on
I believe it's Saturday
on
Fox. It probably
Might be Sunday.
it might be like 10 a.m. to be honest. They might slide that thing in early so people can go about their day, watch the U.S. Open.
Darius can't make it at 10 a.m. If it's at 10 a.m., he will not go. Any other time, he is good to go.
Gotta go to Canada.
What?
Canadian Montreal Grand Prix.
Oh,
Yeah, I gotta cover it.
That's
I-
Sunday
Go to
morning, right?
Montreal.
But qualies Saturday.
No, I don't think they do qualies in F1. It's just make sure you get the car on, take selfies with them.
Quali.
Is that what the F1 do? Take selfies with all the cars?
Qualify.
Yep, you qualified. You can take a photo with the car. You can certainly do that. Tone has been looking for a long time on the date of this fucking trip.
It's 8 p.m. On
Prime time.
on ABC
ABC!
on June 14th,
ABC, 8 p.m., June 14th.
which is
Saturday night.
which is
Kirk and Fowler.
which is also Flag Day.
And you can find that. Happy Flag Day to everybody.
Sure.
Thank you. You too.
Being a sports fan isn't easy, especially if you're a UFL fan. Finding these games, geez. Finding the championship even took a little bit of some research. But it'll be on ABC. You know where you can find ABC? YouTube TV. YouTube TV gets the avid sports fans to feel more at ease, knowing they have access to all their favorite sports and live TV in just one easy app. MVP features also put game highlights, stats, and scores all in one place, making it even easier to be a fan and also a gambler.
There it is.
Damn it.
Highlights, stats, scores.
I haven't been gambling.
Me neither, really. I feel very proud of the fact that I've not put my money down on things I know nothing about.
Me too.
I'm very happy that I no longer bet on things that I feel like I want them to win.
Yeah.
Like a year ago, probably, this Pacers series, we're talking heavy bets.
Sure.
Heavy bets every single game because my mindset would be they only got a few more games left regardless, so we might as well get it in. And then all of a sudden, OKC wins by 15, and it's all of a sudden, I'm a different animal the next day.
Yeah.
And then I text Tyrese, Bub, fucking take it to the rack. When you're gambling, you need to know what the hell you're betting on.
Always.
That's a smart idea. And I'm not saying you need to gamble on sports. You can obviously enjoy sports without gambling on it. Many of us have. Many of us are right now currently. But if you're looking to do a little YouTube TV has all the stats, scores, and everything you need to know in one place. They're trying to make your life better. And if you're a fan, wow, how much more informed are you because of our friends at YouTube TV? Mucho. You can also use multi-view to watch up to 4 games at one time.
Sundays.
So you can have the F1 Grand Prix standstill photo up on one side.
Yep.
You can have the UFL Championship on ABC on another side. You can have maybe the Ocho, which has the slippery stairs race
right.
on the lower left. And then you can also put some talk show on the lower right.
Yeah.
Shout out to YouTube TV being the first to do something that every network and platform is going to do going forward. They mastered the multi-view. Shout out to YouTube TV for that. That's a huge development in the world of watching entertainment.
No doubt.
Without a doubt.
You can scan this QR code and score YouTube TV for $59.99 per month for 2 months.
Good deal.
Right here, $59.99. Oorah. Oorah. First Sergeant. $59.99. Scan that QR code right there. 2 months.
It's a great deal.
That's a great deal.
Great deal.
Because they just want you to experience YouTube TV.
Come on in.
$59.99. What is that? That's a smoothie, a wrap, and a coffee in the morning.
With express delivery.
Definitely getting the express delivery too. I don't need my food and drink taking a tour around town before it gets to me. That's what it costs for 1 month of YouTube TV right now if you scan that QR code.
Wow.
That's easy stuff. You'll enjoy the shit out of YouTube TV. Also, it learns about you.
It does.
So as soon as you get on there, they'll be like, hey, just a heads up, this is running right now. Oh, you missed this. Would you like to see this? Or you can go to the live feature, boom, it's all in there. YouTube TV makes watching TV convenient, and it makes being a sports fan easy. Shout out to YouTube TV.
Shout out.
And shout out to you guys for watching this program. Shamar Stewart fired back today. I'm 100% right. Should be a no-brainer. In Trey's case, it should be a no-brainer too. I'm not asking for nothing y'all have never done before, but y'all Bengals just want to win arguments more than winning games, in my opinion.
Wait.
What?
Whoa.
That's a good start.
That is a good start.
Love it.
That's from Mari Mirov at My Sports Update. He is an actual aggregator of actual NFL news, so I don't think he got hacked here. Do we know anything more about him saying this anywhere?
That's a lot.
Does he mean the Bengals organization or like the Bengals fan base?
I think the Bengals...
The organization.
Yeah.
For sure.
Paul Daner Jr. Is reporting the Shamar Stewart conversation at his locker is obviously not great. Clear the frustration is bubbling up from a small annoyance to something more long-lasting. Most notable, something very simple to fix. It's kind of disappointing, so Shamar. Interested to see the disenchantment with the organization's handling of this coming through so clearly now. I can't say what I really want to say. It's their contract. They can do what they want with it. Some very frank and direct comments from Shamar Stewart and why he continues to feel he's 100% right to sit out. Clearly very upset and frustrated with Bengals that he's not signed in on the field. Let's go to that. Let's go to the beginning of that clip, and let's see what he had to say here. This is 3 minutes and 35 seconds long. You can pause that, go full screen on it. Here we go.
I actually have no idea. I really don't know.
What have you been doing to stay locked in? And you know, there's only so much that can replicate on the field reps, but what have you been doing to make sure that you're actually locked in when you're out there, knowing that you can't do anything?
Great question.
I still go to meetings. I still study my playbook, you know, take down the right notes, and then whenever I get some free time, I go out to train at Black Sheep.
Is it fair to say at this point that you will not step foot on the practice field in practice until you're signed?
Yes.
Good question.
Very bad. I mean, I've been doing this for most of my whole life, and then all of a sudden it's gone over something very simple to fix. It's kind of disappointing.
Have they given you any answers as to why they're choosing this year and you to set a new precedent?
If I really wanted to say, yeah, I can't say what I really want to say, but it's their contract. They can do what they want with it.
Oh, that means something.
For you, what do you think, from a player standpoint, to be on the field for training camp?
It's very important. I mean, like, you gotta get your body somewhat prepared to play football. Especially me coming from college to the NFL is a way physical game. Even though I play in the SEC, which is very physical, but nothing compares to actually playing in the NFL. So I thought I'd be on the field by now. That's what I would thought.
Representation, family, friends. Obviously, you've got to lean on a lot of people to kind of get through a difficult time like this. What have they been telling you to help you?
You know, just take it day by day. Pray to God. You know, He's always gonna stand with me, no matter what. And just know you're doing the right thing. Like some people say, we all agree Trey will be right? But technically, he's still 1% wrong for being under contract. So in my case, I'm 100% right, so it should be a no-brainer. And in Trey's case, I think it should be a no-brainer too. I mean, he led 17.5 sacks for 2 years back-to-back. If I was the GM or I was the owner, take all my money. But I guess they don't operate like that. But
Have you talked to Trey at all?
I talked to him the last time he was here, but other than that, no.
Has this experience soured your taste for the Bengals?
I'm not gonna say that. I mean, I'm still new here. We still have a long future ahead of us.
Maybe.
Communication with Zach Taylor been like through this?
Seems very reasonable.
Yeah, I like this kid a lot.
We talk here and there.
Yeah, me too.
Do you feel behind?
Mentally, no. Physically, kind of, sort of. Not really, though. I still work out. I feel like I'm still in good shape.
How do you make sure that you're ready to go whenever that time does come?
Oh, I'm always ready to go. I've been staying ready to go. I mean, it's my job now. I got no choice but to be ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
Are you optimistic is the wrong word, but is it realistic that you could practice tomorrow if something gets done? I mean, is it that quick? Do you think it's going to be like a light switch?
Let's see. We got, 20 hours? Let's see what happens.
Thanks, Shamar.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I think he handled that very, very well. Shout out to Trags on X, by the way, for posting that. Mike Petraglia is the one that posted there, even though there was a lot of media surrounding him at that moment. I'll tell you what, calm, composed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working out. I'm down at Black Sheep. I guess that is probably a gym near there. Because if it's voiding the entire contract, if something happens, he doesn't want anything to happen. Obviously, there's some sort of, in him saying their contract, I wonder how many times the Bengals have said, you're coming to our team.
Mm-hmm.
This is our offer to you. And this is how it's going to go. And then they ask, have you ever done this before? No. This is the first time we're doing this? Well, I don't think so. And then him talking on Trey's situation. The guy got 17 and a half sacks. I guess if I was the GM and the owner, I'd say have my money, but I guess that's not how they do it around here. Has this soured your taste? No, I guess. We're going to have a long relationship. I mean, everything about him, I'm like, I like the way this guy. I like the way this guy operated. I mean, that was a real babyface move right there.
Yeah, because that's a really, really, really tough spot to be in. Like he said, you are taking that huge jump, and you got to just stand there and look like the asshole on practice. It's not doing what everybody else is doing. And we always say control the controllables when you come in as a young player and you have a team around you that you want to trust. Seems like he's controlling the controllables, and he answered some tough questions there to be in that spot. So I'm frustrated for the young kid as well. Hopefully they can figure it out. But this is probably bigger than just him and his agent. I'm sure the PA probably has reached out to his agent as well, like, absolutely not. Don't accept that. So hopefully they get this figured out sooner than later. He's already missed so much valuable time, especially with a guy that you know is going to have to make a huge jump production-wise on the next level if he's going to live up to his draft slot. So hopefully it works out. But watching that clip, it kind of completely changes my view of him in this situation. Not that I had a fully negative one, but just hearing him talk and answer those questions definitely has me 1,000% on his side.
I was a punter, 7th round draft pick, so I shouldn't have an opinion about anybody really publicly whenever it comes to playing the sport of football, especially if you make it to the NFL. But in my mind, when I heard about this, I was thinking to myself, rook-ass rook, shut up. Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah. Like, this contract is not the one you're getting rich off of anyways. Mm-hmm. Like, the next one is the one you want. We need to be trying to get everything we can get done to get to the next contract. That's where you get rich. Like, the first one, obviously great, but we want to get to the next one. And as a rookie, you are no longer the guy, like, you're in a room full of the guys. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a whole new thing. So my natural reaction was like, this dude thinks the NFL revolves around him. He has no idea how this goes. Then I listen to him talk, and I'm like, hold the phone. I love this guy. Yeah. I would like this guy on my team, actually. Why won't the Bengals get it done? I feel like I'm very happy we listened to that. And also, Shamar, hey, stand on business over there, buddy. You stand on your business. I wouldn't want to be a guinea pig for a new clause either, I don't think. Now, how many other teams do this? You know, like that's the next question. Are the Bengals the only team doing this?
He's protecting the next couple first-round picks, because the Bengals slip this into his contract, they can show next year's first-round pick. Well, this is kind of what we do, and they can kind of pressure their agent and whoever the next pick would be. So I do wonder if any other teams are trying to put this clause in.
I'm assuming they're the only one. I'm assuming if it's something shitty, then the Bengals are the only team doing it. The little tidbit Florio released, too, that kind of completely pivoted the entire thing for me, even before hearing that, just because once you realize, the Bengals are just trying to screw over their first overall or 17th overall pick, their first rounder, there's no point in agreeing with the Bengals in any situation. Is there a precedent of, like, him,
Mr.
of a Mr. President, precedent, whatever? Is there a situation where a first rounder has just never
Bosa, right? The Bosas. I think something happened with the Bosas.
But I mean, like, never. So theirs was money in Bosa signed like Monday
Jackson
of week one, like where you just never sign your first.
Wasn't he drafted to a team in the Raiders, maybe? And he just didn't go.
I think it was like the Bucks or something, and he told them before they drafted him, like, "Hey, if you draft me, I'm not gonna."
Joey,
and he wanted to play baseball.
Yeah,
Joey missed all the preseason games. His contract didn't get done until
Bosa?
Both of them. I think both
so did
Bosas.
But I think that's when it's money. That's one thing, because it wasn't their whole dispute was on guarantees of money. Yeah,
this one is a clause on future voids,
and they were both top 3 picks. This is the 17th.
Hey, shout out to the young agent reading through that thing and finding clause.
He had to send it. I would assume he sent it to multiple other agencies. Friends, hey, this isn't normal, right? Mm-hmm. Like, we can't be signing this.
You got to remember those lawyers too. They'll sneak a clause in there, deep, 30 pages, 40 pages in, 20 pages in. You know, they do that so other lawyers are forced to be hired to read through these things. Whereas, whereas, blah, 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 whereas, blah, 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 blah. We're 4 pages in, and whereas has only said one fucking thing. But who wants to sit here and do all this? Oh, other lawyers do. So you need to hire another lawyer to deal with the other lawyer. So then lawyers always have what? Work.
Billable hours.
And this agent, and the lawyers that read through it, if it's not him, if the lawyers for the agent read through it, whatever, found it and were like, nope, that's a good deal. Good for them.
Yeah.
I'm happy they did that. Jake Arthur at Jake Arthur NFL is reporting that first series of 11 on 11, Daniel Jones, 3 of 3, hit Michael Pittman for a touchdown on a fade.
Wow. Over Justin Wally.
That competition was short. There it is.
That's what it's all about.
It's Dan's house.
DJ.
Yeah.
3 for 3.
Yeah.
Justin Wally's a fucking player, too.
Yeah, he's always got good eyes on fades. That's why they had him in. He is a red zone defender.
Oh, yeah.
He's in there for the fade, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And Daniel Jones said, catch his fade. And he said, Wally, I'm doing it. Wally had no shot.
Yeah. Pitt's a dog.
Pittman's fishing with Riley Leonard already.
Oh.
Yeah, it feels like the team's more together than it's ever been.
Gotta love it.
Got some weapons, though, man. Drafted Tyler Warren, Pittman, Downs. We'll see
Pittman
if
never
AD
speaks to the media. Dog. Would break his back on a football field for the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah.
And he tried.
It has.
Almost did.
He tried, and he would. Hey, talk about dark horse teams.
Uh-oh.
I think that's what they call Daniel Jones, is the dark horse.
Yeah.
They do.
It's his nickname.
I thought it was Vanilla Vitt.
It is, but
Well, that's a whole nother nickname.
he has many.
He's just going by Indiana
What else?
Dan now.
Jones.
Yeah, sure.
In Dan.
In, yeah.
Yeah.
In Dania.
It's somewhere.
In Daniel Jones.
Well, then you're inside of him.
We trust.
Indianiel Jones. Indianiel Jones.
You'd get there.
Indianiel Jones.
Hopefully he starts.
Who else? Riley Leonard? I'm okay with that, too.
I mean, is that fucking cowboy still there?
Who?
Sam Ellinger?
You're right. I don't know.
I think
What about who was there last year that you loved in the preseason?
fucking Jacob Eason?
No, Jason Bean.
Jason Bean.
Oh,
was
yeah.
a dog.
Bean was a dog. Why were we getting rid of Bean? I don't know. I didn't fully understand that one. I did not fully understand why we got rid of Bean. Bean was a little bit of a dog. How about the YouTube TV ball right here? Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they get it. They get it.
I mean, stats and workout videos can really paint a picture in the off season for you. I mean, stats from practice.
Are you talking about for me or for everybody?
It translates.
Everybody, you know, like, hey, something happened. I don't know. Oh, you put out a picture of you lifting weights. All is well.
Bingo. Stephon Diggs put out a video of him working out with his route doctor or whatever it was. And I was so impressed that he was able to go from knee injury to yacht to that practice all within seemingly 3 days. I was like, this guy's a superhero. He's in great shape. And he shows up at OTAs running around. Yeah, you're right. I will change my mindset. Cam Newton, when I saw him do that one workout video, I knew everybody needed to sign him.
Before the Patriots, yeah.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, maybe it didn't work out as well as it should have, but
It's a good start. He hurt his shoulder.
yeah, he got hurt. What do you want from him? He launched a new video, or a new show.
Yeah, he was part of the BET Awards last night. Him and Ashley Nicole Moss started a spinoff of 106 Park, 106 Sports.
Really?
I'm sure it'll be some blend of sports.
Oh, that was huge in the locker room.
Oh, yeah.
106 in Park, big celebration last night, I guess.
Yeah. Bow Wow performed. Lil Wayne performed some old shit. T-Pain. So, yeah, it was very targeted to our generation for sure.
Yeah, 106 in Park had a hell of a run.
Yeah, Freestyle Friday.
So good. So good.
Man.
I thought about Bow Wow because he re-showed up at 106 in Park. I think that's where he re-entered my life from back in the day. Basketball is my favorite sport, you know.
Yeah, like Mike. I like the way they dribble up and down the court.
Yeah, like that was Bow Wow, right? When he was a little guy.
Yeah.
Just a little Bow Wow. And he popped back in life at 106 in Park. I was like, holy shit, he's an adult now. And he was awesome.
Also in the Fast and Furious franchise, he popped back up. Well, yeah, it was 106 in Park or TRL when you got home from school. Whatever videos was rocking at the time.
That was great times.
Oh, yeah.
Ode to be young again.
Oh, yeah.
probably saw
And Home Improvement came on.
God, what was right
Young again.
before 106 in Park? Was it The Basement with Big Tigga?
Yes.
That show was fucking awesome.
It was.
Big Tig.
Hell of a run.
It was.
These young bucks have no idea.
No idea.
Those were the days.
You have no clue what it was like back then. It's a shame. You know what? Your world now, better than ever. That's what we'll say.
They got streamers now.
Yeah, watching Minecraft.
Yeah, those guys
that's
are all
cool.
sweet.
Minecraft, great movie, they said. Everybody's saying
I'm
it's a good
sure
movie.
they did.
How come streamers always have weird names?
Be catchy.
It's a stage name. What are you talking about?
I mean, it's always like, I can't even, I'm not even going to try to come up with
You
something.
can try a few of them.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all, I would like to say Kai and Drewski joining Kevin Hart last night, banger.
Yeah,
Anytime they're together. I'm a big Drewski fan. Got a chance to watch him operate. He is hilarious. His white guy,
Good.
Oh, yeah.
So
Solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
So good.
Yeah.
that was my Uncle Ed. He was dressed up like my Uncle Ed. Rest in peace. He was my Uncle Ed in that entire thing. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Kai, in speed,
They on a run.
run. I don't know how much. That's got to be so much. Just, what are they watching? Me live. All right. Every day, they got to go. Jake Paul and Logan Paul used to do that. It's every day, bro.
Yeah.
Is their thing. It's like, it is. The work ethic, I don't think, is talked about these streamers. Congrats to them. They're also all in love. What happened at Streamer University? There was a lot of love that was going on.
There's a lot going
See a lot of drama down there.
I don't know.
I think there's some drama going on in the love world.
Some drama yesterday because Kai didn't know who Wale was. That was a little bad.
Yeah, I heard Wale went up to him and say he made me look like a dum-dum.
Yeah, he did.
He doesn't know about left hand up?
He said, "Who's Wally?"
Kai said that?
Yeah.
Did he really?
Oh, I'm dead serious. Yeah. And then,
not,
Oh,
not
no.
good.
yeah,
Not good.
I mean,
Okay,
it's
maybe Wale will go back into the booth. Maybe that'll send, why is my name Wale? And they keep saying whale is an old line.
Yeah.
Now he can say, why is my name Wale? And these youngs call me Wally.
Yeah.
And he goes right back in there.
hopefully.
You ever listen to Waka Flocka these days? Holds up.
I haven't in a while.
Waka always
but-
goes.
we did.
He always goes hard in
Love
the paint.
Waka.
Whenever he was going to be at Monday Night Raw, I was trying to explain to Michael Cole who Waka Flocka was. He said, who is Waka Flocka Flame? I said, bangers only.
Oh.
He said, what do you mean? We're on the bus, loud sound system, just straight to Waka's top 5. They all sound pretty much the same. I did not.
Turn it up, though.
I didn't know he had a diamond record until when he was showing on Raw, and they had, I think, on this, he had a diamond.
Yeah.
Shit.
No hands, I think.
Yeah.
So
That might have
good.
been that one.
Yeah. Think about how many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Hard in the paint.
It's a party. It's a party. It's a party.
Grocery party, yeah, absolutely. There's another one.
He got a whole lot of money.
Bitches coming for me. It's a party, it's a party, it's a party.
Hey.
And then he just stopped out of nowhere. Then he started DJing. I watched him do a DJ set here in Indianapolis, Indiana. He just pressed play and then just literally fucking 2 hours straight. Nick, were you with me when that? Yeah, I think you were with me.
Yeah,
right?
it's quite the hustle to watch.
It
It's
was
pretty cool.
awesome. It was a crowd. I'm like,
Wait,
this
what do you
is
mean?
brilliant.
Who did we do
He
that with
wasn't-
in Vegas?
He wasn't on the ones and
Oh, it's Jermaine Dupri.
I mean, he might have been on the ones and twos. He might have been on the ones and twos. I'm not 100% sure, but he was just playing bangers, and then he was just sitting up there.
Going nuts, yeah.
Just going. And then I think he was flying out there to go hit another gig afterwards.
Good gimmick.
I'm like, wow,
Yeah, great gimmick.
This is a good gig. I would like to let him know where we watched him do his thing. Place was lit. I mean, the party was mission accomplished. Then he hopped in a plane, went and did it somewhere else. I think he started with "It's a party, it's a party," and his dreads just flying in the front. It was crazy. That's a good gimmick if you can get it. Why don't you guys? We need to make some music.
Yeah, let's do that.
Someone should, because after Waka in that era, music kind of died.
Morgan Wallen's got like 100 songs up the
Hip
top.
hop music kind of died.
Whoa,
I mean, I know Little Nobu is cool. And
that's not his name.
Mabu.
I had Nobu the other
Who the
day.
fuck
actually.
is that?
Little sushi.
Delicious.
Little sushi from Nobu.
Yeah.
Wasn't bad. It was actually pretty. You don't know who Lil Mabu is?
no clue.
You know who Lil Mabu.
You're about to.
Then you don't
You're
know
about to get Mitt's hands in a second.
Do you know Lil Man Jay?
I've seen him in the chat a couple times, but I don't know. I couldn't recognize the song.
You know why you saw him in the chat?
D-Bone.
Is disrespectful.
Song of the summer, dude.
Let me hear it, Gumps.
I just want to pick you up Or are you talking about the new one, sipping?
Whichever one. Little man Jay. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. You guys are the greatest. Hey, Jay, we'll see you tomorrow. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life. We're in this thing together. Team on me, team on three. 1, 2, 3, team. Goodbye.